yeah, we should be going live now. But yeah, hi, welcome everybody, everyone in the chat. You are not an hour early. It should be fine. We are starting, and yeah, we're going to be starting the final case today. The final case of Investigations 2 is really interesting. Now, this is also one that I didn't have a ton of involvement with. I guess we have the big building in the artwork here. On your arms unlocked in the gallery. Okay. But yeah, Turnabout for the Ages, called the Grand Turnabout in Japanese and in the fan translation. I think it's the same name as the tower, so calling it the big Turnabout would have been a bit weird. I know that it's not actually pronounced with the g, but I do that because it's a joke. Yeah, I do like Turnabout of the Ages, for the Ages, but, because, yeah, it does kind of sum this up. This one is definitely a, well, for a time, this case had the most evidence you ever held at any one time in the whole series. So that should tell you how big this case is. I don't know how many streams it's going to take me, but, yeah. And also, as I was saying, like Case 4, I didn't do most of the translation for this one. So, I did a couple of big scenes. I wasn't hugely involved with this one, but I should hopefully be able to point out at least some trivia, and I do know all the trivia about the names as well. Now, as we launch it... Oh, daylight savings just ended in the States. Oh, okay then. That might actually affect things. I might have to change the time again. Yeah, so... Anyway, intros to cases in the series are usually very abstract and vague. They don't really reveal a whole lot, and they generally just keep you guessing for what's to come. Now, the intro to this case is probably the most vague and bizarre of any case in the series. Except maybe Turnabout Storyteller. That one's also pretty weird. Like, that's just literally a Rakugo routine and nothing else. More like a turnabout that takes ages. Yeah. The controller vibrates on this, by the way. You won't be able to tell, but yeah. Just wanted to point that out. Eyeball and Kaiju. Yeah, that's all we get. That is all we get for the intro to the final case of this game. It will make sense eventually, kind of. Oh great, Lotta Hart followed us here. I suppose you need to take photos of, Excelsius's arrest. Ramnit's redacted, yep. That is indeed a big boy. Oh, Luna Amethyst, you went to a convention and got a figure of Jack Frost dressed up like Ringo from Soul Hackers 2. That's cool. Yes, because at the end of the last case, we got radioed by The Killer, and, we're told that Red Raincoat Man was still at large. For some reason. Yep, there it is, Red Raincoat Man. And we don't know who really wrote this letter either, that got blood all over it, because thank you, Excelsius. Thank you for stabbing that corpse with Matador's candelabrum. We've been dancing to someone else's tune, yes. Aha, but they'll be dancing to a different tune. Double the taxes, triple the tax. No, sorry. I feel like Nintendo Capri-Sun referenced that in his Let's Play, but it was probably different wording for this particular line. I feel like someone else used the phrase dog with a dang bone. I wonder if that was actually, If that was, sorry, sometimes my head goes to the fan translation names first. I wonder why. Tabby in case 1. Yes, 3 or more or 4 misleading photos. And yeah, this time it's not just a cameo, she actually gets a full-on sprite. Do I know her? I think Edgeworth may have vaguely met her earlier on. This is a character from Case 3 of the first game. But she's considered so obscure in the Japanese fan base that even knowing her name is considered the mark of a true fan. Meanwhile, random police officer just standing there. Yes, we did do this last stream, but she's more relevant here, so that's why I wanted to reiterate it. Yep, it's giant cow footprints. Okay. And how did a kaiju leave these prints with nobody seeing? And it's time to meet our victim. Not Lang. Yep, the president of Zhengfa from Case 1. He's dead. Also, it looks like the wall's been bashed in a bit. Yes, how'd the kaiju leave those 3 specific prints and no other damage? Yep, looks like, he, faked his own assassination and then got assassinated anyway. Kind of, maybe? By a kaiju. Yes, the kaiju assassin. Ah, Torosaurus, okay. Yeah, you know what, I don't mind that. I'll explain this in a moment. They're gonna be talking about this later, I think. So, yes, this right here is probably, one of the weirdest murder methods in the whole franchise. Stomped on by a kaiju. I wonder what the autopsy report is gonna say about this. And yes, the term monster was actually kaiju, but yes, assassinated by a kaiju is a crazy thing to say. Yeah, you know what? Something tells me that summoning kaijus to stomp on people isn't exactly DeKiller's MO. It's a bit too conspicuous for his liking. It would be really funny if there was, like, actually an assassin, like, in, like, an anime or something, who assassinates people by summoning kaijus to just stomp on them. Yeah, I would love to have been a fly on the wall in the writer's room and they were coming up with a murder for this case. So, how about death by kaiju? Here we go, Lang Z says. So in Japanese, this is just like, Lang Z is literally the Chinese for that. I think it just means wolf child. But yeah, these were always kind of fun to try and localize, because they are meant to sound like proverbs, but they're all pretty silly, even in Japanese. My favorite is Lang Z says, just go already, but that's from the first game. Yes, there was an Attack on Titan reference in the fan translation. I think that comes later, but I do remember that one pretty clearly. On this day, mankind received a grim reminder.
Hold it!
Yes, you don't see your usuals of, again, the leader of his country is dead, and, I mean, you'd think anybody would be shaken witnessing that. Especially when, you know, he's like an actual major figure in their, like, law enforcement. But yeah, Lang's a little different in this game. We had a bit of a preview in Case 2, but we're not getting it coming full circle until now. Wait a minute, it wasn't accusing the first person he ran into Lang's entire thing in the first investigations? I've since watched a couple of streams of that. And so it is time to investigate the scene of kaiju murder. Yep, he's a lone wolf now, exactly. Shilong Lang has become She Short Lang, wow. Yeah, like, Lang accused Meekins in the first game, of all people. And yes, Lotta, unfortunately for some, is not just, like, a major character in Case 4, she's actually major in Case 5 as well. Edgeworth would probably freak out if he realized where he did know her from. She works on the Steel Samurai, so yeah. Yes. Turnabout Samurai, which was okay. It wasn't the worst case in the world. Sadly, she can't introduce herself as assistant's assistant again. Yeah, Penny Nichols. So, this is like, so in the first Ace Attorney, they didn't really go for the exact same puns as the Japanese script did. That was until later. In Japanese, her name is like something Mamiya. I think it's a reference to like mania. It like, yeah, it's meant to reference the fact that she's like a fangirl. And like the whole of Case 3 was meant to be a parody of like otaku culture in Japan and stuff, so yeah. If this game was localized, like if Ace Attorney 1, not Investigations 1, Ace Attorney 1 was localized later, it probably would have had different, like for example, there's a character in that case called Cody Hackins. You might think that he's like a computer hacker or something. No, literally nothing in his character has to do with actual hacking at all. So I don't know why they even called him that. And again, like there's some names in the first game that I do like. Red White is pretty good. And it kind of fits because in Japanese his name was just like Big Little Small or something like that. And like April May, like those names were definitely references to the fact that Japanese names were just like a bunch of things listed, but Penny Nichols and like Cody Hackins were a little bit weird. Like I like Jack Hammer though, that was the victim of that case. Will Powers, I think, is actually vaguely relevant to his Japanese name, but I'll, yeah, go into that. But yeah, she works at Global Studios. And here's the thing. So, see how her name tag just says assistant? That's in the Japanese version too. She doesn't even get a name tag in Japanese. This was true of the first game as well. She's just called assistant. So, we don't even have... I forget if the fan translation actually called her, like, actually changed the name tag to say Penny. But, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, to be fully accurate to the Japanese, it wouldn't. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, High Lion. The Ace Attorney 1 puns were just kind of whatever they thought was funny at the time. It wasn't until, it wasn't until later on, in the series, like the second game, where they actually started to try and match the Japanese puns, and personally, I think that's a lot better. very least, Edgeworth does kind of still be polite to her, even though he forgot about her. Oh, it did. They changed it to say her name. Okay, yeah. That's technically not accurate, because in Japanese, it did just say assistant. So when people think that it was, yeah, I thought that it was a show, it's not a movie, but anyway, when people say that, the official localization did her dirty, it is truer to the Japanese script, which did just call her assistant in the name tags. So it might seem a bit weird to people, but it is accurate to the original. Yes, you can notify a generic police officer who's standing right outside and somehow didn't comment on any of this. No. Red White's name fitting with a certain plot point in Trials and Tribulations was a coincidence. A very happy coincidence, but it was a coincidence nonetheless. Yes, there's plenty to look at besides the body. Yep, this is weird. The empty lot, that's like a plot point in the first, not the first, in Yakuza 0. It says assistant in the profiles too, yeah. That monster costume looks awfully small, though, for what made these prints. I do think that, in Japanese or the fan translation, the joke there was similar about it shrinking. I recently found some remnants of an old Lego set that I had that was a film studio. I think it was they expected you to actually make, Lego movies out of it, but this was before, the days of, smartphones, so I forget how they actually meant for you to do it. I think they sold, a camera. Kay, you're meant to not get seen by spotlights when you're thieving. That's like Sly Cooper 101. I mean, putting on an actual fake thievery show would be pretty cool. But anyway, yes, you're doing a lot of work taking photos of that one specific spot and wasting all your film on the same thing. Where do the Power Rangers show up? Yeah, Global Studios is meant to be a, tokusatsu studio, so this made a little bit more sense in Japanese, but there are Western-produced tokusatsu shows, kind of. Although, actually, from what I've heard, apparently Doctor Who is considered tokusatsu in Japan. I think even Thomas the Tank Engine is. I think tokusatsu literally means, special effects, but it's a term for, Power Rangers, people in suits, those kind of... They're usually very campy, those sort of shows. Yeah, when are they going to explain Torosaurus? Because I want to talk about the localization there. Yeah, this is actually one thing, I am glad she never mentioned this during Case 4, because this would have just made things confusing. This is actually one thing when you're doing a multi-case game. Often it's just a thing where, you need to be careful how much information you give. This is why Great Ace Attorney 1 kind of had some problems, because it actually has a lot of info that's just teasing the second game and isn't relevant to the main mysteries. So, this thing technically did happen back during Case 4, with the red raincoat photo. But I like the fact that they did not bring it up until now, because again, if they had brought it up back then, it would have been just really confusing. It's wait, there's a fake kaiju sighting involved in this case too? What? Yeah, in this photo, there's a giant eye in the window. So, this kaiju sighting occurred at the same time as the crime of Case 4. Reptilian, you'll hear what I missed. Not a whole ton. Well, you missed the fact that the president of Zhengfar is dead. Zhengfar, I think, is dead, and his cause of death is stomped on by a kaiju. He got assassinated by a kaiju. Yeah. Modern Mouse, again, how much did you miss? You missed finding out that the president of Zhengfar was assassinated by a kaiju. reportage to report. That's a good line. Yeah, like, they're one of these, this is like that kind of thing of like, you know, I guess Professor Layton's whole thing of like, you know, something clearly weird and fantastical happened. Well, obviously there's a mundane explanation. We're just gotta figure out and prove what the mundane explanation for all of this is. Camera crane. Don't think that's a boom. I think the boom is like a mic or something. There's a fan series called Trainformers that has Thomas as a Transformer and the Megazord. That'd work. Yeah, Grey Attorney is really interesting. Like, when you play it and the second game as one big thing, it is much better. But, like, I think what sucked is the fact that they didn't, like... When we got it in English, they sold both of them as one collection. And that improved it immensely. In Japan, they sold the first... They sold Grey Attorney 1 and 2 separately, and so people played the first game and they're like, wait, this is the worst Ace Attorney game ever. Why are all the mysteries unsolved? And they had to wait a year before the sequel. And then it's like, oh, okay, Grey Attorney 2 is peak, but, like, you know, the damage had been done by that point. I think it sold really badly, and they kind of got their budget slashed for the sequel, so it's kind of sad. Like, I get what they were going for, but it definitely made more sense when they were together as one collection. At least I think the collection did do pretty well and was pretty well received in English. and thus Edgeworth became an accessory to theft. Apparently there's a... Oh, right, it's just this table. Yeah, they seem to be tarps. They're calling these sheets, and they're calling the ones from Case 2 tarps. It's the reverse of the fan translation. Yeah, Grey Attorney 1 also has its own issues, too. Like, Case 4 of that game is not great, in my opinion. It's like, it sets up a lot of, like, Ryu Norsuke's London life, but it's not a great actual mystery in its own right. But it also sets up Grey Attorney 2 Case 2, which is amazing, so, yeah. Weather was pretty patchy yesterday, so they had to cover up a lot of the stuff. Okay, good to know. Also, there's a broken lock here. That's probably important. Oh, I just remembered. Oh, this case has a Phoenix and Maya cameo, doesn't it? But you have to examine this fence at a specific point in the case. In the chat, oh, hi, William Shakespeare in the chat. In the chat, I'm okay with you telling me when to examine this to get the Phoenix and Maya cameo. Because I want to show that. It's an achievement as well. "17-year-old sought in connection with lawyer slaying." Once again, the best title ever. Yeah, I do feel bad for the people who were fan translating Grey Ace Attorney when the official localization got announced. At least it wasn't as bad as Final Fantasy, what was it again? Type 0? Where Square Enix announced the official localization literally the day the fan translation released, and then hit them with a cease and desist immediately. Like that must have been... I'm so glad that didn't happen to us. And so, we have the whole building itself in evidence. Yeah, I like Grey Attorney 2 Case 2, so it's a mouthful to say, but I like it. Lenio, I remember the cameo being pretty early on, so just keep examining the gate, yeah. No, I do like that GAA 1 Case 4 is lower stakes, because, like, everything before that was kind of insane, but still. Yeah, I like the bull line from Turnabout Forsaken, especially since they're calling Torosaurus a bull here. So yeah, we have a cut chain here. Somebody must have had some bolt cutters, I guess. Oh, you have to examine the gate twice right now. Okay, good to know. I thought that it happened later in the case. Yeah, that looks like it got hit by a wrecking ball. Cue song references. The Grey City fan translation did have an uncomfortable amount of ethnic slurs. See, the thing is, technically the Japanese script kind of did too. They actually toned down a lot of it in the, not just the localization, when the collection came out, they actually toned down the language in the Japanese script. Like Giselle Brett, like, she called, she called people monkeys in the Japanese, original Japanese script, and they actually changed it to, like, I think, like, barbarians or something, like something still bad, but, like, a bit less overt. Or uncivilized, I think they used. Like, they actually did edit down the Japanese script because it was that extreme. Yeah. It's just one of those things where it's like, when the original is meant to be offensive, it's like, what do you do? Like, you can't remove that, because, like, you've got characters who are literally meant to be racist in Great Ace Attorney. I am glad they used Nipponese rather than a certain word starting with J, even though that one was a little bit more period accurate, because it's maybe a bit less extreme. But, like, it does, like, you definitely still see the racism in the script. Anyway, it's uncomfortable talking about whether or not to translate slurs, so maybe let's not continue to go on about this. But, like, you kind of get the idea. But it is, I do find it interesting that the Japanese script actually got toned down in the collection. Like literally the Japanese script got changed a little bit. Now you're imagining Lofty from Bob the Builder swinging his wrecking ball into the fence. That's amazing. And, hi there, oh right, we don't even have the, yeah. The badge to present to people. You know, they really should make a Yatagarasu movie. That could honestly work. Oh, now I feel bad for her. And same dialogue here. Okay, it's kind of late. Yeah, the daylights. I didn't realize that it was that America daylight saving, so I'm gonna probably have to change my next stream time. But good to know. I'm sorry if it gets late for people. Yes, I will examine the fence. That's why I haven't examined the body, because I know that if I examine the body, things are gonna get kind of more intense. Huh. I would have thought the monster prints were part of the film set, but no, they weren't there when she left yesterday. Yeah, that's what I was wondering too. Yeah, like, it does seem like they'd be part of the set. We did relearn her name, but she's still assistant in the dialogue boxes because, yeah, that's how she's referred to in Japanese. Ah, okay. Took her a while. Oh, it's not late for you, it's the opposite, it's early? Okay, anyway. I'll have to figure things out. It wouldn't happen to be a Steel Samurai movie, would it? Yes, please be a Steel Samurai movie. Please be a like Edgeworth's brain right now is just going on like dopamine overload. Edgeworth, damn it! My dreams have been crushed. All of them. So here we go. Yeah, it is very interesting. So like I said back in Case 2, Frank saw it was added to this game for the series' 10th anniversary. I'm guessing that all of these Ace Attorney 1 characters in the final case, like Lotta and Penny, were also for the 10th anniversary. And yet this game got skipped for localization, so we missed the big anniversary. Like that's like the equivalent of Sonic Generations not getting localized, honestly. You'll have to forgive Edgeworth, he only cares about the Steel Samurai. He literally does not watch any other movies, or shows, or anything. Except maybe Bacon Bop sometimes. Not everyone's a fan, but they soon will be. Edgeworth, this is not the time to indulge in your hyperfixation. A man just died. Yeah, I think that actually does fit a lot of things. Oh, this just reminds me that I need to watch Shin Godzilla. My dad got me the DVD for Shin Godzilla, which was like 2014, so it's a while ago, like literally 10 years. And I think it was made by the guy who did Evangelion or something. Like, apparently Shin Godzilla is really good. I need to watch that. Because, like, they kind of lost the plot with Godzilla, from what I remember. Like, the original Godzilla was like an allegory for the atom bomb in World War II. And then they just turned it into a fun, campy monster franchise. Which was honestly really funny. Like, it's funny, my dad loved Tokusatsu when he was younger. So we had a lot of discussions about that. Yeah. You know, you couldn't have Red White cameo in this, I feel, Lenny, but the Bellboy could have cameoed. Then they'd have representation for every case in the first game. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so this is what we walked in on last time. We were walking on a filming for this. Yep, 2014 was a decade ago, rip. Yeah, it makes me feel old. But, you know, I don't know where they could have fit the Bellboy in. Maybe in big building somewhere? But, like, I do like this, because, like, the A71, like, these cameos don't feel gratuitous. They feel like they actually have a purpose. Like, Frank saw it was in the prison, Penny's at a film set here. They don't feel too intrusive. It's not like, hey, look, it's an anniversary celebration. We're bringing back all these old characters. Look at us. It feels more intelligent than that, I feel. Yeah, so here it is, here it is, here it is. I guess Edgeworth himself is the Turnabout Sisters cameo because he debuted there. I guess that makes sense. Yep, here it is. Torosaurus versus Gordy. It was reversed, though, in Japanese. It was Gordy versus... So here, now I can explain the trivia. So in Japanese, this thing's name was Borumosu. Also, if you look at the position of the horns, you probably know what that plushie is now. So yeah, the plushie was Torosaurus the whole time. So in Japanese, Borumosu, I want to say it's a combination of bovine and behemoth. That's my best guess. Like Mosu is like the end of Behemosu. And then I think the start is bovine. Again, I'm not like, I forget if I'm exactly right about that, but that's what I'd assume it is. So we called it Moozilla just to get the whole, you know, big, kaiju reference. Whereas they're gone for Torosaurus, which honestly, I like Torosaurus a lot. It's fun to say, and that really fits the name of this thing, like a kaiju franchise. So yeah, I like it. But yeah, Taurus obviously comes from bull. It's meant to be a giant bull monster. And yes, so Gordy in Japanese is literally just like Hyor, I think it's like Hyordan or something. It's gourd with some kind of suffix on it. So Gordy is almost a one-for-one translation. So yeah, they brought back Gordy from the, you know, Loch Ness Monster equivalent from Case 1 of the first game as a kaiju franchise. Which is amazing. I love this callback so much. Yep, and we've even got the picture. This one we didn't need to come up with new graphics for because we just reused the original. This one's blurrier. Like the text is blurrier here. Also, I don't want to spoil it, but what Gordy actually turned out to be is kind of sad. It's definitely not a nothing like a you know, an actual monster cryptid. That's the word I'm looking for. Not that I'm too wild about hearing again. Let's just say it was all Larry's fault and leave it at that. It's funny, Larry was not actually supposed to even be in Case 4 of the first game, but they had to reuse him because there was no room to make sprites for a new character. So they're like, oh, okay, let's just bring back Larry and put him in a Santa costume because that saves on cartridge space. And then Larry became a recurring character to everyone's horror. But yeah, it is actually kind of a Behemoth versus Leviathan illusion as well, because that's Groudon and Kyogre as, in Pokemon too. Torosaurus versus Gordy. Yeah, I remember, like, when I was in high school, Freddy versus Jason and Alien versus Predator were both pretty big. My only experience with Alien vs. Predator was a video game adaptation that I think from what I've heard was better than the movie. Like, significantly better than the movie. Like, it was like a first-person-ish multiplayer game, and from what I heard, it's actually... Like, I saw a little bit of it, and that seemed really good. Combination lock. Sorry if I'm talking over a lot of dialogue here. Yeah, no, like remember the original Ace Attorney trilogy was all on Game Boy Advance, like somehow, and yeah, like how they managed to cram that all in. It's yeah, kind of insane. Oh, someone said you thought it was the other way around, where Larry was made the defendant of the first case to save on space. A little behind the times, better late than never as a reaction to this game finally being localized. Yeah. Oh, there's also a Capcom Alien vs. Predator? There was like a first-person thing, rather than, that I remember, rather than I've heard the Capcom one's pretty good too. Okay, so we have a bajillion suspects who can open this lock. Everyone of the cast and crew could open the combination lock. Oh, I think I see where this is going. The cast and crew wouldn't need to break the other lock to get in, because they know the combination, so presumably whoever broke this lock is not a member of the cast and crew. Do I examine this again? Yeah, here we go! Here it is! Also, we get a preview of the, Torosaurus head, but there's no one really special around to speak of, huh? Yep. It's just, don't mind us, just Phoenix and Maya going on a leisurely stroll before Phoenix gets disbarred in like 2 days, canonically. Like, this is kind of sad. Like, I think it's literally like a couple of days before he gets disbarred. No one from my current vantage point at any rate. Yep. It is a shame that there is this wall here, because it is separating the ship. Yep, and there's an achievement for that. It's like 2 weeks before. That man and that woman. The them. Yeah, it's only been a few days since we kind of solved his fake assassination plot. He got assassinated by a kaiju. Blue Man, yep. Edgeworth taking a break after this case to learn the right gets disbarred, yeah. We had some headcanons about that. Okay, it's April 6th on this case, and April 19th is when it gets disbarred. Wow, that is close. So both the plushie and something bigger lost a horn. A few days before Phoenix also becomes a dad. Yeah, I remember we had a headcanon in the chat that, like, Edgeworth would talk to Phoenix after the events of this game, and then Phoenix is like, oh, by the way, I'm a dad now. Okay, I presume they want us to present the poster. Creature feature flyer. I'm glad that these games give us an idea of what Phoenix and Maya were up to before the whole disbarment deal. Yes, just walking around looking at towers. Yeah, it's kind of smart, Capcom avoiding the Zilla thing. I didn't know that Toho was that quick to sue, though. Phoenix is such a magnet for murder cases, they happen out of his sight as well. Also, why is there like a weird yellow thing on his chest? He's definitely not breathing. Nope. Was he stopped on? Yeah, I can't believe they managed to get 5 cases onto a Game Boy Advance card for Trials and Tribulations. A yellow substance. Yeah, Edgeworth coming out of a series of cases with themes of parenthood, only for Nick to immediately go, I have a child now. His blood is yellow. He's an alien! Oh, wasn't that a joke in the original fan translation that we wondered if Kay wondered if the president had yellow blood because he was an alien? Yeah. If that was the case, then yeah, that was cool. Surrounded by shards of concrete, flecks of something yellow stuck to clothes. Meanwhile, giant footprint. Yeah, how is he still holding his abs if you know, he's dead? Exactly. Maybe he just held them in so much that, or he hit the gym a lot after case 1. But maybe he's holding them in so much that, like, the air is just, has a delayed release. Oh, I know they changed iFly, but Daily Express? What did that get changed to? Yeah, I guess Trials and Tribulations was helped by Case 4 being exclusively Corp, but it doesn't have a ton of reused characters because Edgeworth has a totally new design. Granted, you know, a certain character is a palette swap of a certain other character for reasons, but yeah. Daily Express became Mercurial News. Okay, that's actually kind of cool. I forgot where Daily Express showed up, though. So, okay, I wonder if it's this. So, side gate chain and then combination lock. Like, I feel like the logic here is that whoever broke that lock was not a member of the crew. Wait, in the Apollo Justice Trilogy, did they really change a graphic that said Holmes into Shomes? That is amazing. Like, technically that's not copyright censorship, that's maintaining continuity. Unless they wanted to hide the fact that they knew the combination. That's also a possibility. Yeah, I do wish we could have seen more of Apollo being a main character too. Oh, Trials and Tribulations also used a big cartridge. Well, I suppose that would explain why there's 5 cases in it. Yeah, that is the problem with Apollo Justice, that Apollo felt like a side character in what was meant to be his own games. 3 footprints. I don't think this is gonna work. Yeah, I thought so. Dented fence. I feel like I know what, you're supposed to connect to the dented fence. Oh, we haven't talked to Lang, have we? And I don't think we've heard this song before. Now, the name of this song is a spoiler at this point, technically. But it's a really cool remix. / rearrangement or whatever. Did you need to literally edit hundreds of textures? Anything that had Japanese text on it, yes, we did. Yeah, that wasn't my purview, that was all the graphics and hacking team, but major props to them. Like, they had to make new graphics for the newspapers, they had to make new graphics for, like, again, anything that had Japanese on it. Oh, there's a bit of the KGA theme in this too. I suppose that makes sense, yeah. Yeah, it does sound like a little bit of a Wild West theme. Ah yes, the sad wolf theme. Lang is now sad puppy Lang. I mean, it kind of fits since Lang was first encountered in the Wild West area of a theme park. Day with Destiny, huh? Okay. Lang, unfortunately, has no hyperfixation on, kaiju. Sad days. Unfortunately, I don't have a Twitter. I hate Twitter conceptually. I honestly think Twitter has damaged humanity significantly, but I won't go into really my full reasons why. But yeah, I'm flattered that you want to follow me there. Mainly it's just YouTube. I have a Tumblr, but like, I mostly post Sonic Brainrot stuff there right now, just because there's a few other Tumblrs I follow that do that stuff, and I really have nowhere else I can say that stuff. But like, I sometimes used to post updates on the Tumblr for my channel, but I do that in the community tab now on YouTube, so yeah, I don't really have a lot of like social media out there, but like I just kind of hate Twitter personally, so that's just a thing. Yeah, speaking of Sonic Brainrot, I kind of there was a tweet I saw by Ian Flynn that I think sums it up. He says he's mostly on Twitter because of sunk cost fallacy, and that's kind of why most people are still on Twitter. Also, this right here is really important. I need to stop talking now, because, yeah. They were keepers of the president's last will and testament. Yeah, he'd hired a bunch of foreign bodyguards, not you. A lot happened. That was 12 years ago or more. Yeah, there's so you know how daddy issues is a thing in like every single case in this game. So now Lang has daddy issues as well. Just to complete the complete the trifecta, even though it's more than 3 cases of daddy issues, but still. Just change one day. Now remember that Lang has always hated prosecutors for some reason. Something happened 12 years ago to make the president stop trusting the police, and yeah, that was a plot point that was unresolved in the first investigation, so now they're finally going into it. Yes, you get daddy issues, you get daddy issues, everybody gets daddy issues. Oh, right. Well, I mean, one of them is... Well, I was about to say one's dead and one's in prison of the bodyguards, and then I realized that they're both dead now. Well... Ace Daddy Spirits of Parent. Next, we'll find out the Torosaurus has daddy issues. Yeah, I do, like, granted, it does feel like Lang isn't hugely part of the second game, so it does feel a little weird to be like, in case 5, suddenly, oh, okay, we forgot to give Lang closure, let's do that. But how they do it, I think, is still quite good. Because, like, they gave K closure in this game, so they needed to do it for Lang as well. At least this is not as bad as... I was recently watching a stream of the first investigations, and I forgot that, like, you can actually try and present, like, anything relating to Kay's father's murder to, like, 10-year-old Kay, in the flashback case of the first game, and, thankfully Gumshoe stops you and calls you a horrible person for doing it, but still. To be fair, Lang wasn't a huge part of the first game, all things considered. Yeah, rip. Yeah, they should have done more with Lang for the first game. Like, he's a cool character, he has a good theme. Yeah, it's just... At least he does get some justice now. Hey, Kay, what do you think of your dead dad? Exactly. Oh no. Oh no, it's time for animal rivalry. I mean, it's kind of coincidence that both of them are types of Lagoos and Radiant Dawn, but still. Sir howls a lot. And so it's become a battle of Tier Zoo. I've never watched Tier Zoo, but this sounds a lot like something that would happen on Tier Zoo. Yeah, the timeline structure of the first game did hurt Kay and Lang's development a lot. Yeah, I don't know why. That sounds like something that you would see on, like, Tier Zoo. Power scaling argument. Yeah, he had a Torosaurus toy. We now, know what that plush was. For some reason, it had a recording device in it. Not really sure why, but it did. Yeah, the argument, from what I remember, was pretty similar in the fan translation. Well, I brought a raven that eats force field wolves. I think that's most things. Like, I don't think he's gonna know anything about the letter. Yeah, I forget if, like, for Lang, I think some of his, like, generic present lines are the same as the first investigations. They might not be in this version, but, I think they were in the fan translation. Kay is better in this game by virtue of actually being in this game, says Highline in the chat. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, have I checked everything? I've checked most things. I don't think this works. No, yeah, I feel like I know there's something you need to find that would link to the dented thing, but I forget exactly, how... Okay, Lang has a tick, Penny does not. So there must be some... Oh, I have to ask her about the broken horn. Right, okay, there we go. I do like that detail. I don't know if those were in the original, like, version of this game or not. Yeah, Torosaurus' head. The location of Torosaurus' head. Well, I saw it when we saw Phoenix and Maya. Oh yeah, they're still there in the camera pan. That's cool. I guess that's a hint to that being here. Here we go, yeah. It's not even the whole horn, it's part of the horn. But yeah, now is where we need to go dented fence and broken horn, I think. I think the logic here is that big head fell and smashed the fence. Are Ryoken / Canis, his lines harder in Japanese? They're kind of... I mentioned this back in case 2. Watch the VODs of that if you want to see my view on him. He speaks in Buddhist monk speak, which is very interesting. That was the first time I'd ever encountered that in Japanese text. You have to go now. No, it's been nice being here for a bit. Yeah, here we go. And this might be where we need to link this and the Taurosaurus head. Because it's possible that he was metaphorically crushed by a giant monster. Yeah, I started an hour earlier Shining Dragon because daylight saving. I didn't realize there was American daylight saving. And so, sadly, the wolf has to leave us. Oh, are we gonna get another localized name? I've been kind of vaguely looking forward to this. The head of a country killed by a literal head, yep. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure we had him say old man too. I think he calls Lang Oyaji. So, this theme is really strange to me, because in a game rip that I had... So listen to this part here. There's kind of like a high-pitched guitar riffy thing in this. So, I had a game rip of this game's OST when I was working on the fan translation, so I could listen to a lot of the songs and stuff. And for some reason, the game rip of this guy's theme that I had didn't have that. It just had the bass guitar in the background. It was missing part of the song. I really don't know why, but it just didn't have that part. But also, for some reason, the bass guitar of this song, it really makes me think of Spyro. I don't know why. Maybe it's just this guy having horns, but it kind of makes me think of Spyro. I see your manners and raise you milk. Oh, right, we established last time this guy sounds like Ash from Pokemon, and I guess that fits. This guy's like Veronica Taylor's Ash voice. But maybe deeper. Like, a bit more, I was about to say emo, but like, yeah, a bit more, how would you say it exactly? Like, I wouldn't say angsty, but like, you know. Sean, okay. Sean's not bad. What's his last name, though? No, edgy, that's the word. Edgy Ash from Pokemon. Yeah. Sean Fenn. Okay. I am drawing a blank on what this is about. Oh, wait! I know what Fenn is! I know why he's called Fenn! Okay. So, we basically went with, is this a reference to Sean Penn? Yeah. Okay, so in Japanese, this guy's name is Shimon Aizawa. Aizawa literally means marsh. That's where fen must come from. Yeah, so fen is like a type of swamp. That's where that comes from. Shimon, I think, can mean fingerprints. But like, honestly, if we hadn't gone for Simon Keys, we would have called him, we probably would have called him Simon? I don't know, because it sounds kind of like Shimon. But like, yeah, we called him John Marsh. Marsh is, you know, again, same for, like, the Aizawa. And it's weird. We called him, like, Johan with John as a nickname. I really don't know why. Like, there was no point in giving him two names. So, if anyone hears from the fan translation, I'd like to know what the logic behind that was, because I always found that kind of weird. I do like this a lot. Yeah, I do like this. Yep. This is a child actor. Well, I mean, you know, don't knock child actors. Sam Riegel was a child actor, and he's amazing. I think him and Eden Riegel, who plays Marie in Persona, they were both child actors. They, like, toured around the country. But again, like, in my head, his voice is edgy Ash Ketchum. Oh, yeah, don't go there, there's a dead body. Now, this theme's really cool, too. And we're gonna hear it again, probably. Oh, someone thinks he might sound like Trunks from Dragon Ball Z. I never watched Dragon Ball Z, but wasn't young Trunks voiced by Laura Bailey in, like, one of her early roles? Yeah, he calls a lot of people Oyaji in the Japanese script, from what I remember. He's very blunt. Like, he's basically he's an edgelord kid. Yeah, Edgeworth, from what I remember, Cody Hackins was pretty bad for Edgeworth back in the day. Oh yeah, Trunks was Laura Bailey. The only early Dragon Ball Z dub that I watched was, like, Vegeta from, like, the Over 9000 line. Yes, flattery. Flattery works, I suppose. Yeah, that was why we saw his horn shining in the intro for some reason. I wonder if this is like an actual thing in like a Godzilla film, because I know that Rugrats of all things parodied this. Like, they had like a character, like, there was a fictional kaiju movie, and like, there was a character who had like a psychic link with Reptar, I think, in the Rugrats in Paris movie. So I'm sure this must have happened in a real kaiju film. Oh, Sean Penn started in Milk. That would make sense. Also, we have our first instance of the milk scrunching animation, which we'll be seeing a lot. Well, I mean, he is the big-name child actor of this film. Of course he'd be able to boss around all the staff. Yeah, so this right here... Yeah, he's actually a middle schooler. Early middle school, but still. Also, the thing about the backpack, so this was actually an interesting thing about Japanese culture that I learned by doing the fan translation. Oh, wait a minute. I know I didn't do this investigation. I definitely must have done this scene, because I remember this line. Okay, so I must have done Sean's introduction. Must have been where I took over for this scene. So, okay, the backpack. Here we go. In Japanese, this word for backpack is randoseru. If you haven't looked up what a ransel is, I believe that's what it's called, ransel. I think it's a foreign word in Japanese, but it refers to a very specific kind of backpack. And it is a kind of backpack that like a lot of elementary schoolers in Japanese are stereotyped as wearing. So like Kay was like, oh, he wears a randoseru, like a middle schooler. I was like, wait, what the heck is a randoseru? So I had to look that up, and I was like, oh, right, yeah. But I guess in English, it is stereotyped that middle schoolers have backpacks like that. I mean, I recently just got done washing mine from, like, I've still kept mine. And I've washed it, I've kept it for sentimental reasons, but yeah. So, I mean, it does transcend cultures, but just remember that, like, yeah, in Japanese culture, that specific type of backpack is very, very, very much a signifier of being in elementary school. So, it's got a very distinctive cultural association there. And I didn't know that until I did the fan translation. So that's another thing that I found out. I feel like it's... I want to look this up, actually, because I feel like it sounds to me like it's a brand name that actually became a generic term. Yeah, Randoseru backpack. Okay, here we go. It looks like it's kind of generic. Like, if you look this up, like, on Google Images, you'll see, like, a whole bunch of things that look exactly like Sean's backpack. So, it's a very commonly known thing. And I do think it's a loan word. Like, I want to say it's either Dutch or, like, Swedish or something. But yeah, like all edgy kids, this guy's very sensitive about his age. But yeah, that type of backpack has a specific name, yeah. Again, I didn't know that either until I did the fan translation. Yeah, I think I think that backpack is used in Scarlet and Violet. Yeah, I met the president of a foreign country once. Well, we met him, and he wasn't exactly the paragon of virtue when we knew him. Why was he working on the movie? Oh no, President having a cameo. Wow, that just reminds me of, like, somebody in US politics who had a cameo in, like, Home Alone 2. That was before he became president, but still, yeah. A lot of those cameos aged very weirdly. Well, yeah, he had the plushie, so it kind of makes sense that he was, that he'd be involved in this, but yeah. Oh boy, PR, yeah. Generally, I feel like putting, like, politicians cameoing in them in your films is usually not a good idea. Because, you know, yeah, you know, it gets, like, yeah, politics happens. And the thing about performing for non-professionals as well, that just reminds me of, like, I think I may have mentioned this before. There was a Michelle Obama cameo on NCIS once, and, like, it just kind of goes to show that acting is hard. Like, regular people, even regular people playing themselves, like, when they cameo, they often come across as horrendously wooden. Just like, there was an Elon Musk cameo on Big Bang Theory, I think, and he was horrendously bad as well. Like, his acting was awful. Like, he couldn't even play himself convincingly. No, I'm pretty sure it was Elon Musk, yeah. But, like, yeah, it was bad. Like, really bad. Like, yeah, even playing yourself, acting is hard. Oh, hi, Lady Virgilia. You came in at a weird time. Oh, Randoseru is Dutch. Good to know. It's also a pretty expensive brand name backpack. Yeah, so are those backpacks, like, actually part of the school, like, uniform? Or are they, like, a third-party thing you have to buy separately? Because, like, normally in my country, backpacks are part of the school uniform. Like, oh, I guess in America it would be different, but, like, I don't know if that's the case in Japan, because Japan has school uniforms, right? But, like, are the Randoseru backpacks, are they part of, like, the school uniform, or do they have to be bought, like, because they'd be pretty expensive if they're like, a well-known brand name. No, it's like Stan Lee's cameos were decent. He definitely had a decent grasp of, like, I wouldn't say he was like an actor, but like he didn't sound like I'm sorry, but this sounds really like extreme. He sounded like a human being, at least. He sounded like a real human being within the world of the Marvel films. Like sorry to this was randomly get political-ish here, but like Elon Musk's cameo in Big Bang Theory, he did not sound like a real human being, like at all. So it's just, at least Stan Lee's cameos are better than that. Wait, you had a spare what? Sorry, I was too preoccupied talking about, celebrity cameos. Oh, a photograph. Yeah, here we go. So that's what that, like, my guess is that costume is used for, like, when they have miniature sets. Like, that must be fun, getting to stomp around in a kaiju suit on a miniature set and, like, smash things. I've always liked, you know, the behind-the-scenes of movies where, like, big explosion scenes and stuff in cities are, like, they made a model city. Also, there's a playable segment where you do that in Ratchet & Clank 3, where you're doing the Secret Agent Clank movie. You have to play as Giant Clank and destroy a miniature city. Like, that's a really fun moment. But anyway, I feel like this is the kind of guy who does secretly like candy. And also K, probably. The candy gamut would work on K, definitely, but, okay. Oh, yeah, they're all, like, minis. I'm pretty sure, the old Star Wars movies would use a lot of that. Oh, yeah, I know Psychonauts 1 had the kaiju, but in that case, that wasn't a film set. That was you in somebody's mind. Yeah, you're in a giant... I don't want to spoil that for those who haven't played Psychonauts. That's generally one of the most popular levels in that game, and the premise is just so insane that I don't even want to talk about it. Like, I want to let it speak for itself if any of you want to play Psychonauts 1, which is a really good game, by the way. And 2. Play 2 as well. They're both great. I mean, K, there would be a Yatagarasu movie that K would have a part in. I feel like, yeah, he still has, wait, no. He's got ticks, okay? So, right. It must be something that we haven't done yet. Like, granted, basically all the levels in Psychonauts 1 are amazing, but, that one, Lungfishopolis, is just, like, even by the standards of Psychonauts 1, it's fantastic. That and the Milkman Conspiracy are generally people's favorite levels in that game. In the second game, I feel like Compton's Cook-Off is one of my favorites. Yeah, I do like that one a lot. Also, of course, Psy-King's Sensorium. I like how all of them were like alliteration in that game. It's funny that I'm watching this right as, I've watched, like, the start of, like, a certain somebody's, Bowser's Inside Story Let's Play, so Torosaurus is just making me think of Bowser. The original Torosaurus I'm from 12 years back, oh no, he had a redesign. Okay, so Lady Vigilia in Japan, they have to be bought separately, but you also think they're required, and you could buy a knockoff version? Yeah, probably. Must be a status symbol for the kids who actually buy authentic Randoserus. Rancells. Yeah, Lauda has the infinite camera film thing. Although, to be honest, like, my phone has not run out of space. I have been taking photos of that phone since 2017, and I'm nowhere close to running out of memory yet. Oh no, the Torosaurus fandom online is probably, right now, embroiled in a giant war over the old design versus the new design. They never should have changed the color of Torosaurus's legs. That's an actual line from Sonic Boom, by the way. What was it again? It was like, Tomatopotamus never worked in 3D. They never should have changed the color of Tomatopotamus's legs. Well, he is just a cow. But then, there was a, monstrosity? Okay. Well, I guess they've got the moo thing in here. Also, Torosaurus has his own theme. I think this was actually in the Japanese script too, I remember this. Which is also kind of interesting because, like, it kind of harkens back to, like, Godzilla was originally, like, a political film. It was about, again, like, the horrors of nuclear radiation and, the destruction of World War II. So, and then they kind of lost the plot after that. So, yeah, it makes sense for Torosaurus to have originated as a commentary on man's relationship with nature. I wonder if, why did they remove the nose ring? Ooh, the Torosaurus fandom, exactly. Like the time people complained about Sonic having green eyes when Sonic 4 came out. Doesn't he always have green eyes? Or in modern, at least. But, like, Sonic 4 is explicitly set in the modern era, though, so it makes sense for him to have the different eyes. Wooden table, and the legs look like they broke off, okay. But yeah, Godzilla was definitely meant to be, you know, more of a political allegory back in the day, and then they were just like, yay, big monsters! Yeah, again, like I said earlier, my dad used to love, like, he used to love the terrible dubs of old kaiju movies. There was a Korean one called Yongari that he really loved because there was a line he kept quoting all the time, my dad. He'd quote the line, well, something like, it appears that Yongari is not a myth after all, therefore I suggest that you get a few tanks out there. It was just such a nonchalant delivery on that line, but yeah. Also, fire. Yeah, no, the leg color thing was a reference to a certain somebody having a meltdown in a GameStop about Sonic's redesign, yeah. The fire caused the head to fall. Yeah, whenever I see paint thinner, I think about Epic Mickey, which also got a re-release recently. Yongari was featured on MST3K, wow. I feel like Yongari is actually based on a similar thing that Groudon in Pokemon is. Because I think Yongari is also an Earth Spirit or something like that. What was the Sonic animated series where he was in a post-apocalyptic world? That's either SatAM or Underground. I want to say it was Underground. Though then there was a thing about in the comics where, the Archie comics where they reveal, that was SatAM, that was the show. They wanted to reveal that Mobius was actually a post-apocalyptic Earth all along, and that Eggman and Snively were originally the last humans who were on a space shuttle when the Earth got destroyed, and they killed everyone on the space shuttle and came back to Earth, and that's why they're the only humans on the show. Yeah, early Sonic media was weird. What started the fire, or was it always burning since the world was turning? Yeah, I need to look more into Yongari, because, it was Korean, apparently, not Japanese, and I wonder if it was influenced by anything Japanese, or if it was its own thing. Oh, Prime is, also, kind of one of the universes in Sonic Prime is post-apocalypse, but anyway. This is not really the time for Sonic Brain Rot, but anyway, yeah. I only know that trivia about SatAM. That was meant to be a Season 3 reveal, but Season 3 never happened. But, because of TV tropes. I was just looking at TV tropes and was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Robotnik was one of the last humans who was on a space shuttle, and he killed everyone else on the space shuttle. Yeah. This old guy doesn't look like a fire-breathing type. Yeah, this was not Bowser. Although at this point I'm currently at in that playthrough, Bowser can't breathe fire. Yeah, this looks more like a air conditioner than a heater to me. Oh no, no, Kay, don't get Edgeworth into young hip slang. Then Edgeworth will be saying things are based. I can honestly imagine, like, Edgeworth trying and failing really badly at using slang. That would be amazing. That would be something, at least. Oh, I haven't even examined the giant head. And realize this is a reboot, and get mad. Because reboots. Yeah. Comes apart, okay. So it's just like that thing Kay and Edgeworth were talking about, where they could, like, split the mic in the camera thing into two parts. Edgeworth calls himself a Sigma after being asked why he's so different from people, and the entire room freezes. And then Kay laughs in the background. I guess Penny Nichols is not the master of Torosaurus head moving speedruns. Yep, there's the old plushie. I do like how this plushie, like, the brand that it's from is relevant later on. So he, it makes sense that if it was, you know, that if he's older, he'd have a version of the original. And there we go, belong to President Rang. Also, it has a recording device in it for some reason. We still really don't know why, if that was like a feature of the plushie or not, but apparently it had a pretty sophisticated recording device inside it. Yeah, Maya would definitely teach Phoenix modern slang as well. Death by falling head. Oh yeah, Edgeworth did say cringy a couple of, yeah, in the last case. Uh-oh. Well, this doesn't look good. Are we gonna have to argue with Lang again? We probably are. Also, I love Lang's original theme. Wow, look at them. Look at how insanely I mean, I know that their president is dead, but still, like, look at the reaction sprites on these guys. The wolf is on their trail. Oh no, 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 Edgeworth has PTSD over extraterrestrial rights. Oh boy. He probably should have said lone wolf, like lone wolf or not. Because he said lone wolf back in case 2. I mean, he literally said lone wolf there in Japanese as well, but still. Don't know if he said lone wolf here. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. Here we go. Yep, Lang's doing his thing of suspect the first person he can see. Wait, what? What was Verity doing there? I honestly thought it was the kid that he was gonna accuse. Oh yeah, this happened, huh? But that's on top of the big building. That's really bizarre, though. Like, how would he have got down here? Like... But we thought she had finally turned to our side. And then granted, if she was the last person to see the president alive, it is kind of grounds for suspect. Oh, sorry, I talked over that. I talked over one of the best interjections. Oh. Whoops, he found out. He found out that we technically don't have any right to investigate anymore. Yeah, right after Gavel joins our side at the end of the last case, now she's accused of murdering a president. I almost said marrying a president there. Why did I always say that? That's the crack pairing that we don't need. I have seen the monster's name at this point. Well, I guess it's just Edgeworth needs to find the truth. It is a valid question. Why am I still here, besides the fact that this is case 5 and I need to be here? Like, what relevance does this case have to me at all? Oh yeah, the mastermind, right. Why must you give the shippers ideas? Yeah, I do think Lang has a reason to be desperate because it was his president who just died. A fool, that's Francisca's catchphrase. Yes! Yes, this music is so good. Lang coming back is worth it entirely for this music. Oh no, speaking of giving the shippers ideas, I just remembered that exchange that we had back in the Case 2 streams about concept art of shirtless Lang, and suddenly the chat became extremely thirsty. Yep, Edgeworth has now become a minion of Lang. Yeah, here we go. I do like how this is more of a friendly rivalry, though, than it was in the first game, even though he's suspecting somebody, yeah. Friend is a bit of a stretch at this point, even after what she did in the last case, but still. I mean, there'd be a heck of a lot more blood if she pushed him off the building, just saying. His body would also be a lot less recognizable. Security detail had no idea even, but like, why would he do that when DeKiller was after him in the first case? Yeah. Suspicious conversation. Also just noticed the, Taurosaurus head up there. Okay, so he was the one who asked for the conversation, huh? Yes, some people have noted their immunity to shirtless Lang thanks to being lesbians. Also, hang on, sorry, I'm just getting tissues, because I guess the allergies are out in my area again. But I noticed there was text on the wall, like a filming permit sign. There it is, filming permit, yeah. Global Studios.
Hold it!
Shut up and buckle up is a good line. Someone in the chat's also saying, okay, but lesbians are also under a permanent Gavel debuff. I mean, if you're into characters like that, I suppose. They don't even have an autopsy report yet, I just realized.
Objection!
I mean, we established back in case 2 that cameras definitely can lie. Yeah, I suppose having the camera point at the elevator would make sense, given that, you know, they want to know who goes up there. Kit, the amateur art girl, says that you find Lang more attractive without the, like, with the ridiculous leather and furred outfit. I mean, yeah, I guess. Oh yeah, that was a little while ago. And people only noticed his body recently. Clear from the viewing platform, so it's just the two of them up there. Well, this probably, we don't really need to contradict this one. Unless Red Raincoat Man was there. Including the stupid, unnamed cotton candy seller, who was probably the most important character in this whole game, but we will never see them. Yeah, cause of death, Godzilla, I don't know.
Hold it!
It's still such an interesting, you know, murder method. Oh, High Lion is, gonna leave now. Yeah, it's been fun you being here. Really? Yeah. Yeah, that is true. This case does have one of the craziest murder methods in this whole series. Like, even against the whole smoke screen of the kaiju thing, but, we'll see. Oh, this all happened the night before last. Yeah, that sounds an awful like a present evidence here button. Oh, because these footprints, the footprints weren't there before last night, were they? Photo taken yesterday. Yeah, here we go. This photo was taken yesterday. There's no footprint in this photo. Yeah, the night before last. Yesterday, no monster footprints and no body were visible.
Objection!
Oh boy, Edgeworth is getting so smug here. Wow. Well, maybe not the Edgelord, but everyone else's. Imagine owning this building. Yeah, exactly. So there was one murder, and then the next day, dead president found near the building. That's always been just such a weird damage animation to me. Like, I don't know why Lang just holds his hands out like that. Yeah, Lang's whole thing is jumping to conclusions without doing a proper investigation. Yeah, this is the first time Lang's testified since the previous game, I believe. Okay, well that's not nearly as crazy as some of the other Lang Z sayings. Yeah, Zhongfa is interesting because we don't really see much about beyond, like, you know, Japanifornia and Korean and other things. I had an idea, like, if I made a fan game, I'd actually do, like, a case set in Borginia. Someone would be in Borginia for a holiday. Yes, he was not the one who was fooled. He was the one who got fooled on. If that makes sense. He's blocking the emotional damage. Yes, I especially enjoy backing that man in capital letters into a corner. Yes, hid the gigantic smear on the ground that was the president's body from falling 50 stories. Yeah, that would be easy to hide. And clean up all of that and make the floor totally pristine after that. This really doesn't make a lot of sense. Again, Lang, you need to realize that if he had fallen that far, he would not look like the way we found him.
Objection!
Okay, this, surrounded by shards of concrete. Fell last night. Unless it's the movie set locks?
Take that!
Yeah, there we go, yeah. Yeah, the chain wasn't cut yet, and Gavel probably didn't know the combination? But, there's actually something I know from the future of this case that might actually show that there may be a reason why Gavel would potentially know the combination. Yeah, why is he so set on believing that, as Edgeworth says? Phoenix walking around with Maya hearing Edgeworth yell about a murder and just decides to leave it well alone. He's shouting objection to someone who isn't me. Okay, another testimony. Yeah, I don't know if I should, like, at this point I feel like it's a bit late to switch back to the original soundtrack. But maybe I could do that, like, halfway through the case. Because I do like the original, like, non-arranged versions as well. Why I still suspect Gavel. Okay. Alone. Ah. Oh. I do like the way that his dialogue is done there. Unless she was pushed by Gavel. But, like, wait, if this happened a couple of nights ago, wouldn't it have lined up with Kay being on the roof as well? And how many nights ago was she there? Because Lotta saw the monster, like, she heard the monster and saw it, like, at the same time Rosie Ringer wore the red raincoat and headed up and saw Kay. So, like, who exactly was on that roof at that time? Clearly, the president flew. Bring Larry in, he can prove it. No footage of the president riding the elevator down, yeah. Well, he could have come through the secret storeroom, if somebody knew about that, because there's an elevator from there down to the interior of the building. Yeah, who else could be on one roof? Yes, one day Kay will have a paraglider Sly. I'm sorry, is that a Gavineer's banner in the distance? I think I only just noticed this. Like, look at that. That's the symbol. It says, like, G... It says Gavineers, I think. Did we catch that in the fan translation? Because I'm sure their name has a different... It's Garyu in Japanese, I think. So, I'm pretty sure that is a Gavineer's banner, like, on one of those buildings. Someone from Korean was channeling Gavel's twin sister. Yeah, I never noticed that until now, but yeah.
Hold it!
You know, like, okay, this is, the chat's freaking out about this. This is really bizarre, but you know how I realized that? At first, I thought it said gay. Like, I don't know why. I was looking at it, I was like, wait, gay something? Oh, wait, it says Gavineers, and that's the symbol, okay. Yeah, I suppose it being in, like, HD does make it a little bit more noticeable. Yeah, when I didn't even know if that is in the fan translation, if we caught that. Like, somebody please check the fan translation footage and see if that was caught there. Because I don't think I noticed that until now.
Hold it!
Oh, it could only be visible due to the aspect ratio as well. Because, like, definitely there would not have been aspect ratio to see that far in the original, like, here. It's right on the edge of the screen. Yeah, footage of Gavel recorded by the camera. Like, lines like this in Japanese are kind of interesting. Like, I forget what the exact verb was, but, like, the way that you use the verb, it is as if the camera, like, is specifically almost personified in that sense, if that makes sense. I remember, like, recorded on something. That was a term that did come up a lot in the Japanese scripts. I mean, we probably need to talk to her about this. Kay and Edgeworth discuss the possibility of the Goddess of Justice actually existing, or whether she's just a hallucination by Gavel. Anyway. Yeah, like, we definitely... Oh, you can see it in the original? Okay, that's good to know, the Gavineer sign. But, I mean, I suppose the Gavineers would have been a thing at this point, because Clavier was the prosecutor when Athena got disbarred, so, yeah. Probably a reference to that, since it's so close to that trial. And just to be sure, this camera definitely wasn't tampered with like the one in case 2. Again, we need to talk to Gavel about this. Like, absolutely need to talk to her. Because, yeah. If she went up to the roof with somebody and that person didn't come back down with her, she might have an idea of where they went. Yeah, you know, this talk about the Goddess of Justice is actually kind of funny. I believe it is the Greek Themis they're referring to, but, like, this reminds me of, like, one of these days, so you know how JRPGs often escalate until you end up fighting God, inevitably? Like, with how much the Ace Attorney series was, like, creeping, there was one time where I made a joke that, like, one of these days that you're gonna actually, like, literally have a court battle against, like, a god, the god of Ace Attorney, if they keep escalating the stakes. Like, that'd be really dumb, but, like, you know, that's not gonna actually happen or anything. It was just a joke I made, but, you know, it was like the whole JRPG, you know, trope thing. It just, this talk about the Goddess of Justice made me think of that. Oh, I think I know what's happening here. Lang doesn't know about the 51st floor. Yeah, I think we have to speculate that he could have gone down the hatch to the 51st floor. SMT Ace Attorney.
Hold it!
Yeah. I mean, people have made supernatural, like, lawyer spin-offs before, so, yeah. Like, I don't want the series going in that direction, but maybe some kind of, you know, fully fantastical JRPG-esque spin-off, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, Kay talks about escapes a lot in the Japanese script, from what I remember. Could do like a Dragon 8 scenario where they play with the idea of finding a god by having a cult leader act as one. Yeah, it's actually, honestly, it's kind of funny because, that's actually my idea for, like, the main antagonist of, like, my hypothetical Ace Attorney fan game has, like, essentially a cult leader as its main antagonist. It's sort of a cult. Like, the weird thing is, the antagonistic, like, group in my hypothetical fan game idea, I really shouldn't say this because people might steal it, but, like, I kind of came up with this idea long before QAnon was a thing, but they're basically QAnon. Like, very, like, scarily similar conceptually. Like, essentially a cult around, like, an anonymous online vigilante was, like, my idea for the antagonist of an Ace Attorney fan game. But, dang it, people are gonna steal that idea now that I've said it publicly. Oh, there's no other way you could have gone down from a building that high. Oh, right, here we go. There is a hidden entrance to the 51st floor on the roof.
Objection!
What if he knew about that? No, I like how Ace Attorney is mostly grounded. That's why some people don't like Spirit of Justice. I just thought Spirit of Justice was fine. Because they, like, Spirit of Justice worked because they'd established spirit channeling was a thing. If anything, Spirit of Justice made spirit channeling more logical. Because the fact that it was more involved in the crimes meant that it actually had to have its rules explained very, very clearly. Oh boy, people are already saying they're gonna steal it. At the very least, if I don't say anything else about my idea, my way of doing it would be kind of different. And also, all of you in the chat have mentioned stealing it, so if anyone steals it, I'll know, and there will be proof. No, totally okay, I'm back when I miss. Talks about cults and an Ace Attorney game where you fight a god. Yeah, I actually love the original Spirit of Justice concept of Phoenix getting involved in an underground court for, like, the mafia and defending, like, career criminals, like, and everybody involved in the cases would be a criminal. Like, that was really interesting of a concept, and I kind of wish they returned to that someday. Oh yeah, Volition in the chat says, one of the cases in Spirit of Justice explains you're not actually channeling someone from the afterlife, but a version of them with no post-mortem memories. That actually reminds me of the Speak with Dead spell in Dungeons & Dragons, which the divination seance basically is. But, like, the idea that it's not literally the soul of the deceased, it's actually just something that has their memories while they were alive. I don't think Gregory lied about who shot him beyond death. I think he didn't know. Like, he genuinely would have had no way of knowing who shot him. And the only other person in the elevator was Miles, so he obviously wouldn't want to think that Miles did it. Yeah, Lang, we probably should tell Lang. Kay kind of has some actual lingering trauma from that. Yeah, that is very true. If Gregory had known who did it, he definitely would have said. It's like Gregory is one of those cases of like he wasn't technically a witness, but like sometimes in Ace Attorney when a witness is quote unquote lying, they aren't actually lying on purpose, they just don't have all the information. Ah, there's the wolf howl. Yeah, Lang really likes his president, huh? Well, we all know who Lang voted for in the Zhongfar elections. Huh. Well, most people don't really know what he's really like. Yeah. Granted, you know, real life is full of a lot of people who, you know, get elected to office who, you know, and people still vote for them anyway because politics. Yeah, Lang is already very agitated. Let's not do this anymore. Let's not, you know. Oh, wow, he's actually apologizing? It's alright, Kay, you can come out now. Kay probably, like, ran all the way up to, like, the side of the building and just latched onto it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Please tell me Lotta isn't gonna get a crush on him. We already had enough weird shipping nightmares in this case. Poor Lang with his government-mandated persona was not having it. Wow. Oh, right, because Lotta was there. So, where the heck did he go then? Huh? Unless he was like halfway down the ladder, but people went up that ladder. It's okay, we're confused. Very confused officially now. Oh yeah, Lotta was there. Right. So the body appeared last night, and yet nobody saw him go down the elevator, nobody saw him go through the storeroom. How the heck did the body even move? Ah yes, he had the slow motion fall enabled from that monk skill in Dungeons & Dragons. This is a tiny roof and a small 51st floor and a very limited elevator. How was everyone there? Yeah, he fell really slowly. None of this is making sense, as a certain NPC in a battle facility would say in Pokemon Emerald. None of this is making sense. Like, all of their dialogue is made up of, like, Mad Libs, and I love, like, one of my favorites is, none of this is making sense. Along with pound the thick fat on my belly drum. Okay, finally we're gonna get an autopsy report. Meanwhile, those two agents are still in their ridiculously over-the-top ham poses. He drank a feather falling potion, yeah. Footprints near the body. Footprints in the footprints. Oh, yep, they were the kid, weren't they? I would have loved to have heard what her voice told it would sound like. Yeah, I think she was pretty nervous and, like, shy in the Japanese script as well. Wait, what? Why you? Oh yeah, this is a tiny thing. I was at the scene of the murder last night. Yeah. Yeah, the reputation of the bodyguard agency Huang Yu's must be very trashed at this point. I agree. He stayed behind on his own to rehearse. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, this case is great too. It doesn't. It's a bit weird at first though. This case has kind of a slow start, mostly because like nothing makes sense at all for a while. Like, I know the explanation for why the president's body got from the building to here, but it's so completely insane that will only make sense way later on. Nick. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, it's Gordy, isn't it? Yeah, I do like how they're calling back to the fact that Lotta Hart, back in case 4 of the first game in her debut, she was trying to get photographs of Gordy. Looking up and talking right to him? But I mean, if he was practicing his lines, then maybe this is part of the movie. Wait, this is a weird line. Lady Julie, if you're mentioning Emerald nostalgia now, you're probably very far back. You might be a bit desynced. You may want to refresh your video. Yeah, Lotta likes to go after kaijus. It's a bit of a running gag. Although she didn't in the second game. Yep, now there are 2 kaijus involved in this case. I told you things got weird. Oh, if she's desynced, she won't hear that. Right, that's actually understandable. We're not in court, Lang. Wait, is that a... No, that's not a Pegaball. The Pegaball is from the, you know, Spirit of Justice Case 6. It's just like regular Pegasus. So the Brody references are continuing. Yes, or maybe he didn't want to, you know, have anything incriminating happen. Yeah, I doubt it could have, like, pushed him off the building or anything. I mean, metaphorically, it's possible if he let the head fall, but still. I'm glad Lang's not jumping to accusing him. We need to find him and get his side of the story, though. Hey, Gumshoe's back! And we're not working with him anymore. Uh-oh. Wait, what? Oh, Gumshoe. But if Gumshoe's here, does that mean... Oh no, the winner is back. I mean, last we saw last we saw of Winner, though, he was running off after his dad just called him a complete failure. I mean, to be fair, Lang's not entirely wrong about their country's police. Well, I mean, not entirely, he's totally right about the country's police. We lost Gumshoe in the divorce, basically. No lackeys, no friends. Does Lang even have friends? I don't know, I feel like he doesn't, which is kind of sad. It's raining scoops, hallelujah. Yeah, it's funny you should say that, Jared Fayette, in the chat. We'll see. This has all gotten kind of complicated, yep. Yeah, things are weird. This might be a movie, or the final chapter of an acclaimed visual novel. I'm glad they didn't go that meta. That guy looks like... Wait, hang on. That guy looks almost exactly like the Survive Bar guy from Yakuza Like a Dragon, just with glasses. Also, we can actually see the taxi driver in the HD version. What was that about losing Gumshoe in a divorce? Yeah, just a joke I made. Edgeworth divorced his badge, yeah. Yeah, Shifu, I think it's the term they literally use in Japanese, I think. Oh, that one. Oh, they're using the Yatagarasu theme from the first game. I forgot about that. He kind of made a big mistake there. Several. Oh, I get what this is. Oh, Laville, you probably IMD sync there's a storm right now and the internet is kind of rough. Okay, that's understandable. I mean, you can always come back and watch the VOD, maybe. Or, yeah, I hope everything's okay, but, like, you know, maybe try refreshing, but we'll see. But, yeah, this line is coming as close as they can to aiding and abetting a serious spoiler for the previous game and still keeping unspoiled. The thing is, I like how Ace Attorney makes an effort to not spoil any previous games. Because they're mysteries. So, like, a lot of it gets ruined if you know the spoilers, so... Yeah, I understand what they're referring to. If you know, you know, basically. But if you haven't played the first game, hopefully this shouldn't spoil things too much. So he took full responsibility and disbanded the whole team. Yeah, Lang had a major bro moment in the final case of the first investigations. Wasn't it established that he knows the birthdays of everybody in his group as well, or something? 12 years ago, not 18 years ago. Like, this is technically just that guy is really there just for the sake of exposition, but, like, Lang wouldn't have told us that himself, so we didn't need that to know about the context of why he's a lone wolf now. Well, of course, it's an Ace Attorney game. Of course a cold case from 12 years ago is related to what we're investigating. It always is. Yeah, we've heard the term 12 years ago, but in fact, I think we still have that, don't we? Yeah, good luck getting your revenge for what happened 12 years ago. Totally not K. So Rosie was involved in whatever happened 12 years ago too? Ah, yes, that too. And now, things are gonna get very interesting. Because it's time for Case 2 to be relevant again. So as I might have said this earlier, but like, Case 5 of this game, to me, feels like a giant web. A web that is the center of the other 4 cases. Everything from the other 4 cases all connects into Case 5 somehow. It feels like a series of interconnected epilogues to everything that came before. And is also its own mystery. So like writing this must have been insane. And yeah, that was a long segment for the start, but it's gonna get even more long-ish, you know. Because now, it is time for actual courts in an investigations game, of all things. Also, prepare for some very jarring sprite use, because trial scenes look very weird in the investigation side-on style. So, all of this is just, anyway, you'll see what I mean in a moment. Time for the longest Ace Attorney segment of all time. Oh, yeah. I wonder if I am going to be able to get through all of this by the time I have to finish the stream. We'll see. So yeah, for example, normally the judge is shown front on, but no, we have the judge side because this is just how things go. And yep, and now we have the defense looking like this, and that's flipped from how the defense is supposed to be, because again, the way the investigations are, it's confusing. You know what, actually, honestly though, you know, if it's from Edgeworth's perspective, it makes sense for the prosecution to be the left-facing, no, the right-facing, but like the prosecution to be framed in the protagonist angle. So no, actually, this does kind of make sense. But yeah, it takes a while to get used to these angles as well. Yeah, the original attorney in this case, Rosie Ringer, was murdered. And, oh, wow. Wow. If Eustace Winner was going to prosecute Fifi Lagarde, she would have got off scot-free completely, because wow. Yeah. So, Eddie Fender is defending Fifi Lagarde. And the thing about this is, like, okay, I know it's kind of a massive conflict of interest because they were literally there when she confessed, but I don't know, it's all... they just had to use the characters as well. This is a part that a lot of people do find very weird as well, because, like, of how things kind of play out from the defense's side. I'm interested to see how the official localization handles it, because, like, the fan translation, it could have just been a fan translation problem. Also, by the way, the court music here is actually Investigations 1's court theme. I believe it's called Court Guardians of the Law or something. Yeah, so I don't know if Eddie Fender's just going to try and bring up maybe the mitigating... Like, I mean, you know, everyone needs a fair trial, and maybe he'll potentially bring up the mitigating... Possibly, I don't know if it's called mitigating circumstances. I don't know if it's quite an insanity plea to, like, say that she was so paranoid about Canis that she did what she did, because, like, technically there was a little bit of that involved. So maybe that's the angle he's trying to argue here, somewhat. But yeah, it's funny, like, a lot of people think this is the best court theme in the series, and it's for a spin-off that doesn't actually involve court, most of the time. And yeah, potentially also just, you know, finding the truth as well, and making sure that, you know, Franziska, there aren't any major holes in her case. Well, I mean, you were literally there, so, yeah. I feel like Eustace, though, like, oh, wow. I can only just begin to imagine just how horrifying a trial with Eustace in charge of the prosecution would actually be like. Like, Gavel would need to be guiding him through everything, wouldn't she? Eustace, witness, state your name and what does this word mean? Occupation, it refers to a person's job. Oh, right, yeah, I knew that. And then the defense just face palms and is like, we're going to be here a long time, aren't we? Yeah, to be honest, yeah, Rosie dying, yeah. Also, the court's the wrong way around. This is also weird, and now we're getting a sight-on view of a witness stand. It's just, I don't know, if you played the Nene Cerny games, this all just looks so weird. Like, it's just all these angles. You're not meant to see the courtroom from these angles in an Ace Attorney game, and it just, I don't know, it's just like, it's one of those things that only an Ace Attorney fan finds it this, you know. Oh god, who would be the co-counsel for Eustace? Again, probably Verity if she wasn't the judge. I think the judge bench does have its own sprite. Yeah, it would be kind of funny, though, if Phoenix did go up against Eustace. Wait, we literally saw you confessing, didn't we? We actually saw you confess, and now you're saying, why am I here? Yeah, Eustace would probably, Alright, defendant, start explaining your octopus. Occupation. Occupation! Oh yeah, if Excelsius would be co-counsel as well, that'd be kind of horrifying. Yep, and it's case 1 representation again. We lost 2 pieces of evidence already. This really is an Ace Attorney trial. Well, I mean, you know, makes sense that Eustace Winner would have stolen stuff, yep.
Overruled.
Wait, what?
Objection!
No, this is not a fair trial. The evidence is gone. It's a shame that Fifi Lagarde doesn't have a voice objection. Yeah, Eustace is getting whipped a lot once Franziska finds him again.
Objection!
Fender's like, hang on, wait a minute, why am I objecting to me winning? At the very least, Fender's, you know, honorable enough not to take a win if it's not a fair trial. You know, some of the evidence is gone. Yes, exactly. That's kind of why we're objecting. There needs to be the evidence. We can't do this trial with no evidence. We're playing as nobody here at this point. So far, at least. Well, at least she's kind of trying to not be a conflict of interest.
Objection!
Didn't we have a situation like this in one of the earlier games where, like, somebody had to rush in with evidence at the last minute? We're all watching this through Eustace's Twitch stream. It's kind of weird to see the defense on the right side and the prosecution on the left. Well, I thought earlier that it makes sense because this is Edgeworth's game, so the prosecution would be on the protagonist's side. Yeah, Francisca did that in Farewell. Also, this is the longest ever 15-minute recess, exactly. I believe this is the same courtroom area from Investigations 1. I remember that model. Oh, right, Edgeworth was just in the gallery watching, I suppose. I suppose this flashback makes sense, also Regina jump scare, because we haven't seen this for a while. This is all the way back in Case 2. The model that costs as much as the actual courthouse. I forget the examine dialogue, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was canon. Yep, and guess what? Speaking of Regina jump scare... Oh yeah, there is a Thinker statue in the lobby. Be careful or someone might get killed with it. I do love how Bronco Knight is like canonically the one person who's been hit by the Thinker and survived. Well, you're only nearly convicted because Winner is an idiot. Yes, they lost the most important evidence, but yes, this case really is everyone is here. Also, Simeon has an Onyankopon shirt. Now, here's something kind of weird. Like, back in the previous case where the Onyankopon mask came up, a lot of people thought that, Simeon was the Onyankopon that you saw in Case 2 of the Justice for All, Case 2, sorry, what am I saying? Game 2, Justice for All, Case 4. But no, he's not. He just is a fan of the character, I guess. Bronco still died, so his death after getting hit by it was just delayed. Yes, that statue is a serial killer. Is that Francisca whipping someone? It sounds like it. Yep. Francina Franderella. I'd love to hear this guy actually voice. I think we agreed earlier that Joe Zija could do a good voice for Fender. It's kind of interesting seeing Francisca doing the whip in, like, you know, actual walking sprites. And there he goes. Oh, no, he's... Nope, he's hiding behind us. Oh, and now we get to talk to people. Well, let's address the crazy whip person in the room. Also a hello theme that's more fitting than for your father. We are here as a private citizen to observe the trial. Yes, we literally need to go home and rethink our life. Though, wait, where's our home now? I mean, I suppose Edgeworth doesn't exactly live in the prosecutor building. You only have 15. Oh boy, if only they knew. This is going to be way longer than 15 minutes. Oh, right, we need to look at the model. Okay, good to know. Thank you for that, chat. And then the president himself turned up dead a few days later. Let's see. Yeah, you didn't know about this, did you? Had to shower, what did you miss from the trial? So it turns out that, the evidence, the crucial evidence is gone. Because Eustace is an idiot, as always. Not exactly. I mean, this is Ace Attorney. Of course, that's something to do with this case. Also, now, I'm just having in my head, again, this stream that I watched, she did this really great German accent for Franziska, and now I have this in my head constantly whenever I see her. Uh-oh. Well, more whip counters. What do you know about giant monster movies? Well, she clearly does not think highly of that franchise. At least she didn't whip us. Okay, well, now let's go ahead and check out the model, because I've heard that it's amazing if we do. This incredible model can transform into a robot at the touch of... Oh, I remember this now. Also, look at all those judge pictures up there. Those wishing to see this transformation in action should inquire at the main reception desk. Please release a real figure of that. That would sell so well. But then everyone inside would get smushed. Yes, that's for the Ace Attorney game where you fight a god. The courthouse transforms into the ultimate courthouseatron. The God Killer. I bet Franny specifically hates Steel Samurai because Miles Edgeworth loves it. Yeah. I really want to shout out this stream that I watched of Investigations 1, but, like, I wiped my browsing history because I had a malware scare, so I can't, it's not in my Twitch browsing history anymore. I need to, yeah, I need to shout her out, because she's great. She streams around the same time Lady Virgilia does, like Tuesdays US time, Wednesdays my time. And I've been in her chat sometimes. Again, I feel so bad that the name slipped my mind. I need to look into it. Okay, we've already examined the doors. A Judge of the Year award, but that just makes me think of the Paper Mario 1000 Year Door translation. Year of the Year. You know what? You know what? They should use pedals for these more often. Pedals, I think, are more hygienic because you don't use your hands to touch them. I've seen some... Oh, well, that's a waste of water. But yeah, there are some garbage bins in a local community where I live that actually have pedals to open them instead of, like, using your hands. And again, like, that's so much more hygienic. Yep. Oh, you believe there was a Transformer reference when expecting the courthouse model in the fan translation? I wouldn't be surprised if there was a more than meets the eye reference there. Basically, everything involving Fifi Lagarde's trial, I did not even touch in the fan translation, though. Kind of a shame, because it has some amazing moments later, but, I can't really tell you about a lot of what this was in Japanese or the fan translation. Yes, somebody wears the entire couch. Okay, that's the courtroom door. So that water fountain was behind Phoenix this whole time. Again, why is there a thicker statue here? Aha, it's statute books, not statue, for once. Well, that reminds me of, like, with Chronicles of Narnia, wasn't technically the first book, The Magician's Nephew, written later? I think Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe was written first. They were written in a weird order. And I remember reading The Magician's Nephew and being very confused, because it has a wildly different style to the rest of those books. I stopped at, like, as a kid, I tried reading Narnia, and I stopped at, like, a third of the way through Dawn Trader. Like, I didn't get super far. And I remember literally nothing of Horse and His Boy and Prince Caspian, so I was not particularly into that as a kid. Hey, Fender's theme! No, I only hug you when I'm amnesiac. Yeah, I didn't find out until later that the Narnia books were written in a weird order. Yeah, the movie... I don't think any movie ever adapted Magician's Nephew. And the movie adaptations didn't get very far either, from what I can tell. I never watched the ones beyond, yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that I didn't read The Last Battle, because I've heard that it goes weird places. Like J.R.R. Tolkien did not like Narnia at all. So that kind of like C.S. Lewis, like they were friends, and I think C.S. Lewis was a big fan of Lord of the Rings, but it was not mutual. Again, Tolkien still liked him as a friend, but Tolkien did not like Narnia. He thought it was way too, like, on-the-nose allegory, and he didn't like that. We aren't? Yeah, right now we're in the grey area. We're not a defense attorney, we're not a prosecutor. The only person who wanted to hug Fender was a literal murderer. I don't even know about the Traveler's Tales game. Huh, that's weird. If only somebody who had the freedom to walk around and do stuff while we're in the trial could go and find the evidence for us. Yeah, he's not ready to follow in his father's footsteps just yet. Oh yeah, I remember this. This is kind of funny. Essentially, Eddie and Francisca are going to be doing the Chewbacca defense for the next 15 minutes. Why is Francisca obsessed with news anchors right now? Oh, right, so the 15 minutes was only this, and not like, you know, the whole segment for this. I quite like having you run errands for me. Yeah, that is just peak sibling banter. I don't want to be arrested again. Wait a minute, did I miss talking to them? I forgot that you weren't required to talk to them in this segment. Well, I think it's used as winner, but also Gavel.
Take that!
The custodian of the evidence. Oh no. Oh, that guy who tried to arrest me before, who came to my house. Yeah, dang it, I didn't realize that you, is that the first time Fender's been whipped? Maybe. Regina sees a murder case as a fun time, yep. Well, to be honest, that's true of a lot of Ace Attorney assistants. Nobody gets to call her that, ever. I would say without massive pain, but he likes the pain from the whip, so yeah. Unfortunately, we can't bring the entire circus with us. I mean, again, she's kind of trying to avoid conflict of interest here. But right after we found the more human side of her last time, it's kind of weird she's back to this. Yeah, we need to talk to you to find out why the heck the president just disappeared and didn't go down the hatch and didn't go down the elevator. Like, is there another secret passage out of that building that we don't know about? Did she know he was dead yet? Wasn't he the one who called her out there? Not at liberty to say anything, huh? We all know what this means. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. We finally get to take Gavel herself to the chess dimension. Here we go. And annoyingly, the back of the box spoils this. I suppose it's kind of understandable that you'd mind chess the main rival of the game at some point, but I guess the twist is it doesn't happen until the end of the game. And 4 pieces. Yeah, Gavel generally likes you being, you know, quiet and not pressing her on things. And it begins. Yeah, like, she uses the example of mind chess on the back of the box. I mean, it's still better than Albie Urgai with Cyclops in the trailers of Spirit of Justice, because that doesn't actually happen at all. That was a long ... Yeah, it's fair to assume you'd mind chess her, just probably not under these circumstances. Occasional aid, kind of, in air quotes. Oh, Back of the Box in Canada uses the wrong French name for Edgeworth. Huh. Nothing I do falls out the scope of my duties. Well, she doesn't look happy about that. I am not yet a perfect servant of the law. Don't go full Shin Megami Tensei on us, please. The French version was a mess with this game. That's honestly sad for people who speak French. How did he die? He got assassinated by a kaiju. That's the theory we're going with right now. Yeah, how do you know about the movie? And so we're suddenly changing tacks to the other big thing of this case. It kind of makes sense for somebody like Gavel to be a terrible liar, though. Yep, we're gonna have to arrest Godzilla, exactly. Alright, that's it. I was thinking, like, isn't there memes about that kind of thing? Oh, no, it's in Trails. There are memes about Lloyd arresting, like, the Curse of Erebonia in the Trails series. Yeah, she likes to bring up her being, oh, I'm an impartial, lawful judge and I don't have personal feelings. She's bringing that up a lot here. And, I'm worried about him terribly too. So yeah, this is interesting because, like, Gavel has a very bad poker face. She's not good at hiding things. She has a very clear tell when she's not telling the full truth. But it'll make sense in a moment. And now we have this sprite for the first time. Yeah, this hits pretty hard when you see it. You've never really seen her just full-on panicking like this. Although, one thing that annoys me is, a lot of people make jokes of, oh, it looks sexual, and I'm just like, it's meant to be, like, genuinely panicked. But yeah, despite being a late mind chess-like boss, she's pretty easy, I think that's intentional. Because, again, she's not a good liar, and she is terrible at hiding this. I feel like this is not going to go anywhere. Yep, she's back to being composed. Yeah, no, I think it's meant to be more a panic attack. And yeah, she's kind of been keeping this facade for the whole game, and it's only just starting to break. I definitely didn't translate this one, so I don't remember what the Japanese was for a lot of these options. Ah. Child? Yeah, Eustace is a little older than that, and she's panicked when talking about it, so obviously it's not nothing. Are you worried about Torosaurus? Yeah, where he died is troubling her. Yeah, so she's worried about a child, and she gets very freaked out at the name Sean Fenn. I think we know who she's worried about. Yeah, I like Torosaurus too, I agree. It's fun to say. And then technically Eustace is still a minor, but just barely. Yeah, this one's more for, like, the plot than it is for the actual Mind Chest challenge. It's pretty easy. So, something that's about to come up here... I can't access evidence right now. I'm gonna jump the gun a little bit when this is revealed, just to make sure people don't get the wrong idea. He's Sean Fenn. Okay, maybe it comes a little later in this. Sean is 13, Eustace is 17. Okay, I think it gets revealed after this one. Often it's usually the more unassuming questions that get you the clues. Because she's very lying right now. All day today, huh? Yeah, just an average fan wouldn't talk to the guy himself. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is absolutely Edgeworth's version of Cyclops, I agree. Yes, every single slip of the tongue she makes has to do with Sean, yeah. Because we saw him, and then when he left the film set, he never came back. Oh, right, I think we need to go on another, yeah, conversation here. Yeah, someone in the chat thinks this would be 4 Cyclops. I think that sounds about right. Almost nothing you don't know about him, okay. Well, she seems a little bit on guard here, so let's not press. Yeah. Knows him personally, gets really panicked thinking about him. I think we know where this is going. Yep, we know that you are. Not allowed, huh? By the one person who knows where he is. Here we go. Yeah, it was easy to infer this due to how panicked she was, and the fact that Sean just kind of vanished. Yeah, we just saw him, and now he's already been kidnapped. So here it comes. Here it comes. I need to jump the gun a little bit. So, if you remember Gavel's age, it seems very disturbing that a 13-year-old would be her son. I'll just say right here, even though this is technically a spoiler, he's adopted. Just to make sure that, you know, people don't infer any weird things. He is adopted. This will be explained later. I feel like I need to jump the gun here just so people get disturbing ideas out of their heads. Like, technically speaking, like, if you look at the ages and the fact that, you know, a game in a mainstream series would not do something like that, you could probably figure that, because the ages just don't really add up. But, yeah, he is adopted. This will be explained eventually. Again, technically not revealed yet, but I think it is important to say that now. Because Gavel's only like 26, I think, if you look at the court record. Yeah, she's only 26. Oh yeah, Kay already points that out. I think they wanted Gavel to be a similar age to Edgeworth, I suppose, but yeah, I guess she does seem a little young. Yes, Ace Attorney has always been very pro-adoption, which is actually kind of rare for Japanese works. So that explains why you were so quick to wrap up the trial even though there was no evidence. Like, she must be really trying so hard not to break down here. Like, knowing this now, seeing how she acted back there, like, she is, like, just, yeah, trying so hard not to crack at doing all this. Yeah, a lot of games are afraid to have people over 30, sadly. I mean, you know, your son could die. I think that's a little understandable. Yeah, this is interesting as well because, like, because this is similar to a situation that a character was in an earlier Ace Attorney game, thinking about it. Speaking of Shin Megami Tensei. Yeah, the theme about people who serve the law only being human, that's a major theme of Apollo Justice, which I guess the flashbacks in that take place very shortly after this. Remember, appeals don't exist in Ace Attorney, except in the third case of Trials and Tribulations, where they do a retrial, but that was because Phoenix got impersonated by somebody with a cardboard lawyer's badge, so that was a very special exception. Like, it literally took Phoenix being impersonated by a man who was orange and had a cardboard attorney's badge for there to be the only retrial in Ace Attorney history. I like how people just disappear when they walk to the doors. Just like old Pokemon Gen 1 sprites. Yeah, bring back Burn Faraday, I think, which comes from, I think in fact Burn, his name comes from an old Gaelic name for Raven. Yeah, it's actually weird. I haven't done Mordecai and Stefan's. Like, I like Stefan as a character in Mordecai. I never did their support. I guess it's because in Path of Radiance, I tend to not use Mordecai past the early game, sadly. I saw a Lizard stream recently that made him work, though. Oh, apparently the devs wanted Gavel to be an older woman. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Maybe it was just like a, oh, we need young characters to more mass appeal or something like that. Yeah, I guess characters in Great Ace Attorney were older, but that makes sense because that's more of the whole Victorian thing. Also, I forgot that Kay had such a good moment here. So now our job is, 1, to find evidence that was missing from a murder trial, and 2, save a kidnapped kid. Here, take my cell phone. This looks really weird out of context. But yeah, she has a Taurosaurus phone strap. Hopefully this one isn't required for defeating a Norse god. Still, that's such a weird plot point in Devil Survivor 1, I think it is. You need a mistletoe phone strap to defeat Belder. I think it's a weird cognition thing. It's like, you know, it's the closest thing we have to mistletoe in the in the modern world. And we have 2 hours. So yes, we're gonna have to Chewbacca defense, by we I mean Francisca and Eddie, for 2 hours. Kay getting the law girly to embrace a bit of chaos. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, I love the fact that she has the Taurosaurus phone on her charm. Your first commission, yeah, rescuing a kidnapped child. Yeah, I agree. I like Nime in Fire Emblem 6 because she's a rare example of a badass old woman in Japanese media. It's true, yeah. We need more characters like that. Yeah, he didn't exactly go on the lam. It seems like he was snatched right after he left us. Uh-oh. Now we're the assistant. Yep. We have become... Yep, it's happened. It's finally happened. The role reversal of all time. I like how happy she is here. Yeah, so, the president's murder is gonna have to be put on hold because, you know, there's a kidnapping. But considering he was there at the scene of the president's murder, like, it was his footsteps, clearly, so obviously the kidnapping is relevant. I love how Kay is Edgeworth's boss now. I completely forgot about this. Wow, this is so good. Also, what kind of thief announces their appearance? Normally you do the calling card after you've stolen something. That's kind of the thing. Oh, okay, I'll do the catchphrase myself. Oh, you're no fun anymore. We don't have time for fun. A kid is maybe going to die. Ah, yes. We're going to be playing the whole, have you seen a little girl? Short, black hair? My daughter. I have to find her. Don't know if that's the full exchange for silence. Also, by the way, look, here's another Ace Attorney 1 cameo. Let's address that elephant in the room later, though. Let's just examine other stuff first, because it's funny. Yes, there's a kidnapping, and so we're examining everything and doing funny stuff. Oh, the cotton candy ad's here. Also, there's a rose garden. Oh, in Persona 5, yeah, you announce the heist first, but you have to do that to make the treasure appear. Oh, that's actually a cool line. Yes, but we need to solve a kidnapping, so let's do that. Press 0 to Sean. I wonder if they, to be honest, I wonder if it's actually a reference to that game, because that was a mystery as well, and the Sean meme is pretty common. Sean! I love that. Engine's cold, driver's not nearby. Why'd this blue truck go into evidence, and Edgeworth touched it? Surely that's not going to be relevant later at all. Yeah, I remember when I first saw that, like, I completely freaked out. Because let's just say that Edgeworth touching the truck is huge later on in this case. But he doesn't need to know that. Yeah, I remember the Jason thing as well. Jason! Jason! Oh, right, now I know why I know the Sean meme. Because there's a thing about Heavy Rain where there was a glitch that had caused that character to say Sean constantly. Like, that got stuck, like, on. And so, at the very end of the game, where he runs to tackle the killer, he yells, Sean! Like it's a battle cry. That was a great glitch. Only 2 vehicles in or out. Only a taxi and a blue truck. Yeah, I wonder how easy that glitch of, wow, that taxi driver's head turns towards us. That's actually kind of creepy. Yeah, that's why Sean became a meme. Just one fare. 2 guys had these black suits, real sharp looking. Just 2 of them. They didn't happen to have a really, really large suitcase, did they? You know, a suitcase large enough to fit a small child? Because it sounds an awful lot like that could, you know, that could be a thing. Added to Edgeworth's organizer. I touched a truck. And yeah. Wait, what music is this? Oh, it's just the generic weird person theme. But yeah, Will Powers is in this game as well. Like, I freaked out when I saw this too when I was first playing this in Japanese. Yeah, Will Powers. I've totally forgotten what his Japanese name is. So let me look that up. I need to look that up because I'm not familiar with that. We obviously didn't have to come up with anything new for this guy because it was always announced. Okay, Saburo Niboshi. Oh, right. Niboshi is dried sardines. Oh, yeah. It's like the idea of, like, it's a... Okay. So it's kind of interesting. I guess the name does sort of fit, but in a more obvious way. So the idea of the Japanese name was that even something small can become a big star. It's the idea of... Or maybe it fit his meekness. Like, this guy who looks so intimidating has the name of a small fish. But here it's like more a reference to his like willpower and determination, which is what the Japanese name was kind of doing too, but more obscurely. Yes, Edgeworth right now is about to internally explode. This would be like me meeting Matthew Mercer, I guess, which I haven't really been able to do. Oh no, long time no see. Hugh Jackman feels like an Ace Attorney name. I mean, I guess it kind of does, yeah. I remember one of the Honest trailers introduced him as Huge Jacked Man. Let's not worry about it. Also, she's on sabbatical, technically. Atheros is like, must not ask for autographs, must resist temptation to get 1 billion autographs, resist temptation to have him sign all of my clothes right now that I will never wash again. Oh yeah, Edgeworth had to prosecute this guy. I forget, I don't know if Edgeworth became a fan before or after Case 3, because he never really gave much of an indication that he was, although he had the Steel Samurai figure in his office in Rise from the Ashes, but that was written later, after the original trilogy. And so, Kay is trying to do the interviewing suspects thing. Yeah, true. It is something to be concerned about. Wow, this handkerchief looks weird in HD. Also, this particular sprite of him in HD looks really sad. The lot won't be empty for long. They're due to start building. Oh, he does say he's a big fan of his work at the end of Turnabout Samurai. Okay, that makes sense. And Phoenix thought he was lying. Yeah. Ah. I don't think he actually... Wait, did he do this in his original game? This sprite looks really funny from a side perspective, at least. They are aiding and abetting a kaiju. Yes, rebooting an old film series, oh boy. Yeah, that's always a thing. The fan base will generally tear into you. I mean, sometimes they're good. I personally liked the new Star Trek films back when they came out. I thought they were fine. It helped they were explicitly set in an alternate universe, though, or an alternate timeline, like a branch timeline. So they didn't impact the original canon, apart from the original Spock dying because Leonard Nimoy, you know, passed away. And also, yep, Will Powers is playing the monster. Yes, new Steel Samurai when? I know that for Darth Vader, there was a different person in the suit versus the voice. So, do people who wear the suits in Tokusatsu do the voices as well? Probably. It'd be pretty sad if Will Powers was not actually, you know, doing the voices. But in this case, you know, the monster, probably just roars. I do love the name Sean Fan. Sean? Oh, you mean Sean! I don't know, I still really like his thinking sprite. Well, I mean, that's a typical 13-year-old, I guess. Early 2010s was a hell of a bad time for reboots, though. Yeah. I love how there's a TV trope un-reboot, which is where a reboot is so bad that they actually return to the original continuity. Because that's what happened with Devil May Cry, and they, you know, they made Devil May Cry 5 and ignored DMC. So you saw him, he was near the bus, and then he was gone. Good to know. Yeah, no, I heard about that. So, like, with the Darth Vader father reveal, the script said Obi-Wan killed your father, I think. The script, like, lied, and only George Lucas told James Earl Jones the real line, and the suit actor for Darth Vader was angry because he said he would have done the body language very differently if he'd known the real line. The funny thing is, I used to know somebody who actually knew, like, she knew somebody who worked on the Star Wars prequels, and they said they had to, like, shred the scripts, like, after they read them. Like, that everything was kept very secret. Yeah, oh yeah, Mark Hamill also knew, I think. Oh, right, yeah, Will was also the Pink Princess, wasn't he? Anyway, do you know what this truck is? No, you don't. Well, I mean, you know, Torosaurus probably throws a lot of vehicles around. What about the poster? I feel like a lot of people here have just different reactions to, like, just the general anything with Torosaurus in it, but here with the poster, it's a specific reaction to the poster. Okay, so Gourd Lake was a thing. You think I could use this dead body in my performance? Do you have any reaction to the Yatagarasu pin? Nope. Okay, thought so. Yep, we don't have the badge, so no showing the badge. Oh, no reaction to the combination lock for your own set, huh? Yeah, I thought that you'd think the footprints would enhance the atmosphere of the set, but still. Yeah, I get the feeling the budget for this movie is probably not amazing. But it would kind of suck for it to be a huge failure. Because Will Powers is, the best, and he deserves everything. Yeah, I agree, AM Shigara in the chat. Will Powers is great. I like that he's back for this. It's actually really funny, like, I recently was like, oh wait, he was in the final case of the second game? Because I forgot that Will Powers was in that. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. The fate of Global Studios and the Steel Samurai franchise is at risk. Never mind the kidnapped kid, it's all about that. Yep, Will Powers is best boy. All of the stuff is normally stored in a large case. You look away for 5 minutes, and Sean and the case are gone. I wonder what may have happened here. Yeah, Will Powers, like, that's the whole joke with him. He's meant to be a looks like he can kill you, but is actually a cinnamon roll. Edgeworth would probably go through every law document he can to find some way for Global Studios to get a huge tax break to keep Steel Samurai going. Heck, Edgeworth would actually fund the Steel Samurai himself if he could. He's probably paid quite a lot for what he does, considering that, like, Phoenix doesn't really get paid much at all. I think Turnabout Samurai's fine. Like, it's not the worst case in the world, it's just not the best either. I wish it was a 2-day case, though. It didn't really need to be 3 days. But okay, they took a taxi. Vehicle activity. Is this it? Nope, okay. I know what we kind of need to prove here, but yeah. Nope. Okay, I guess we need something more explicit. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, as far as, like, I mean, I've said before that I never thought the Case 3 curse was a thing. Yes, the distinctive backpack once more. Wait, this is exactly the same videotape sprite they used for, Farewell My Turnabout, isn't it? Also, they're still using I mean, isn't a lot of film stuff still recorded on VHS at the time this is set? Like, Ace 21 was 2016, so this is like a couple of years later, so this is like 2018, I think, or 2019 that Investigations 2 is set. Yeah, this was his rehearsal. This is from when the footprints were there. Well, I mean, I like that he takes his acting career really seriously. This is 2019, okay, yeah. So did film studios still use VHS tapes? I don't know. I wonder, like, if Sean would be a successful, like, older actor by the time of the later games. Ah, the camera was still running and Sean was gone. Obviously, this is, gonna be relevant later. Most TV productions moved on to DVD, Blu-rays, and HD quality, yeah. But Global Studios is just really cheap and can't afford DVDs. Sean's rehearsal tape. Yeah, seeing an older Gavel and Sean would be pretty cool. And look, now, only now, as time advanced. Lenny, I sure as hell never received any footage on VHS as my years of... Wow, you were... I know that you did work in film stuff, but, like, that is really cool, honestly. I respect that. How long is it realistically possible to drag out proceedings? Oh boy, they should have called Phoenix. Phoenix is the master of stalling in court. And guess what? It's now finally time. The Southern accented reporter team is complete. Yeah, I do like the fact that we do get to see both of them interact, though it is a bit jarring seeing, like, a modern character design interacting with, like, an Ace Attorney 1 character design. Or rather, the 2011, you know, like, the middle Ace Attorney character design interacting with an old Ace Attorney character design. Like, Lotta is so much more pale than Tabby is. The destructive duo. Literally half of 2-4 is meant to drag out the case, yeah. It's interesting that they had to give Lotta a new sprite for this game, and yet it had to basically be just an updated version of her old sprite, so it doesn't quite have the detail that Tabby's does. Yes, she came to be mentored by Lotta. Ah, so she's more of the article writer rather than the photographer. Yeah, the two guys are from very different eras design-wise. Wouldn't you say the Coyote wants a Roadrunner, but that might be potential, you know, issues with Looney Tunes. Ah, Yeah, like, the Ace Attorney 1 characters have plainer designs, so there's a charm to that, though. Yes, from, like, actual real-life prosecutors who are auctioning off evidence from past cases, you know, to just tabloid stories about monster sightings. Yeah, maybe your priorities aren't exactly the best right now. Maybe Tabby's trial for her role in Case 1 just hasn't happened yet. Also that line right there. Yeah, you probably get kicked out of a lot of places. So yeah, we have this, and then we have he's gone. Nothing else in the image seems to change, though. It's just he's there one point, and then he hasn't. Oh yeah, she was probably not charged with anything because they want to cover up the fake assassination plot, yeah. So we have that too. Of course that happened on 4-4. We don't really have any evidence related to the other kaiju sighting, apparently. And then we have the other happy person theme. Oh yeah, here we go. They're actually going to be bringing this up now. Yep, drop the whole case out of nowhere. Without even a slap on the wrist. Yeah, just saying, your journalistic senses probably should have sensed there's a cover-up going on. Yes, presumably some Jungfa government people came in and were like, yeah, don't run this story, or, you know, people might have to start disappearing. I mean, unfortunately, for someone as eccentric as her, it would be easy to dismiss her story, but Edgeworth could corroborate it, I guess. I don't know why she has a bear trap in her backpack. Maybe it's meant to be a representation of how she's hunting for, like, scoops. Unless it's about that she's trying to find the monster, but anyway. Yep, just like back in case 1. I do like they brought her back. Okay. I wonder if they saw anything about, like, Sean. But yeah, this is Ace Attorney. Everyone is eccentric. Yep, that's basically true of both him and Phoenix. How do you know it was a kidnapping? Because, you know, if you know something about a kidnapping, you should probably, you know, actually tell somebody. Yes, because, you know, a 13-year-old kid's life might, you know, not totally depend on this or anything. Ah, here we go. Now we know. Now we can do the logicking. And suddenly, the music is, it just restarts stuff like that too. Do we need to show you something as well? I think we might. Okay, don't have anything to say about the president's death. I feel like there's got to be something to do with Gordy. Now we can do the logicking. There is no male pattern baldness in Edgeworth's family. Okay, it's not that. Presumably it's just logic. I feel like they phrase things in the sense that, like, they wanted you to show something to her, but yeah. And so, okay, yeah, Men in Black, 2 men. I think so? I think this is it. There we go. Child napping exhibit Uno. Yeah, it's always weird when they show her, like, full-on, you know, portrait like this. No Sean. Yeah, here we go. No Sean, and I wonder if it's... I wonder if now it's stolen case? I like how we still have the 3 footprints here. I don't think that gets sold for a while, actually, from what I remember. Because they were kidnapping him. They didn't want a generic officer who was just standing there. Yeah, it is interesting to think about what a lot of these investigations-only characters would look like from, like, a normal series front perspective. Wasn't easy getting that thing in the trunk, I tell ya. Almost like it had a person in it. I didn't think it was suspicious at all. Ah, okay. I'm kind of wondering about this because, like, I have an idea here. Because I know this sequence goes on for quite a while, and I'm actually thinking what comes next leads into some pretty interesting stuff, and I think I'm going to... I might be ending this stream soon, because the next part might be more coherent altogether, and I don't think I'll be able to get through it in just 1.5 hours. But I do know exactly where I'm going to cliffhanger. Yeah, so this right here, this word has 3 different pronunciations. Australians say like garage. In UK, it's garage, and in the US, it's garage. So I've always just found that kind of funny. The name on the mailbox, Excelsius Winner. Yep. So So it turns out that Excelsius Winner is not only a murderer of multiple people, auctioneer of illegal evidence and stuff like that, horribly corrupt leader of prosecuting committee, but also he's a child kidnapper too. Yeah. Just because they had to make him the worst person in every conceivable way. Yes, Kay has an eye for locked doors. And of course, Excelsius has a motorbike with a giant skull on it. Because he didn't need to be like any more like he couldn't get any more obviously evil. We're great house thieves, not common house thieves. Yeah, true, Sean did quote-unquote disappear. Which hopefully means we're not at risk of being arrested. I mean, it's definitely creepy being in this guy's own house. But let's look. Okay, so we have this big fat motorbike. Yeah. Yeah, the fact that Excelsius Winner rides a, heavy metal motorbike is kind of interesting. Like, it's like actual Ghost Rider. It's a skull headlight as well. Yeah. I want Shadow to race him now with a motorbike and destroy him. I wouldn't be surprised if they released like an Edgeworth figure that actually did have lighting up eyes. Huge bags of flour? Does he make evil bread too? Or evil noodles? He stole that bike from SMT Hellbiker. It's cement. Bro does not deserve a bike that awesome looking. Yeah, let's not even think about cement noodles. Yes, I have played Shadow... FryDev, I can prove I've played Shadow Generations. I have pictures of it on my Switch album. Wait, which is the... Oh, here we go, yeah. I screenshotted this because this is such a funny line out of context. I know it's heartwarming in context, but, like, it's just very funny to see out of context. Anyway, Excelsius Winner had concrete. That's interesting. A sledgehammer, a shovel, and concrete. I wonder if this hammer is what Excelsius uses to make people disappear. Excelsius Winner versus Makoto Nijima in the racetrack. Oh, add in the protagonist of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds as well. I wonder if that's vaguely a, vaguely a reference to the circus meme, maybe? I don't know. But it's kind of funny because, that shovel's mentioned, because there actually was, like, in one of the earlier, in an Ace Attorney fan game, there is, like, a culprit who has a breakdown where they try and dig their way out of the court with a shovel. So it's funny that Kay mentions there being a shovel in a courthouse. Viewers are saying Excelsius is a bad person, but the motorbike he rides looks cool. Yes, that is indeed peak AI summary. Black Doom heard you were playing Investigations 2 and wanted in on the Awful Father discussion. Wow, Black Doom and Excelsius a Winner would make a very interesting duo. I'm sure they would have a lot to talk about. It's kind of funny because, like, again, in my head, Excelsius sounds like Black Doom. Or at least the closest a human can get to sounding like Black Doom. Like, his Japanese objection was very, very, very deep and, like, gravelly. So, like, in my head, Excelsius already does have Black Doom's voice. Just less filtered. Also, his motorbike gloves literally have death on them. Because, again, he didn't need to be any more obviously evil. Also, yes, this image was not localized. It did just say death in Japanese. It'd be really funny if the localization changed it to final as a Yu-Gi-Oh reference. So they're covered in machine oil and dirt and weird little fragments of stuff. Also, it looks like half the A is broken off. This is the most evil man in the world, exactly. But I'm just being reminded of, there's a game, like, called Unlosing Ranger that has, like, a character literally called Dark Death Evil Man. Made for motorcycle man, we're currently covered in dirt for some reason. So, there's a big elephant in the room here, and that's that. Didn't even attempt to hide it. Though, wait a minute, didn't we already arrest Excelsius? Why, like, who organized the kidnapping and to his house if we already arrested him? Dark Death Evil Man does sound like a No More Heroes name. Okay, here we go. Okay, we can save. Because, I'm very sorry to people here, but I think I might end this stream soon, and, on a cliffhanger, because, this is the perfect cliffhanger. The game is not going to do the to be continued cliffhanger for me, because this is like, there really should have been a to be continued here, I feel, but, like, apparently this segment just keeps going, because this case is insanely long. Yeah, this is the closest thing to trespassing in these games. But yes, if you know where I'm about to cliffhanger, I'm gonna be very evil here. Sean again. And so. And this is where I'm gonna cliffhanger. So, yeah. I will be saving here. Because, yep, Eustace didn't win this time. What happened to our boy Eustace? So, even though this is a little earlier than usual, I'll be ending this now on this cliffhanger, because next time, the next part is gonna be a big one for Eustace. It's the culmination of his arc for this entire game, and so I really want that to be its own thing. If I keep going, I would not be able to get through everything I need to get through in 1.5 hours. So, this is a good time to stop, and I will see you all next time. Yes, we're gonna be keeping him like this for a week. Sorry, but yep, that's the thing. Yeah, I will see you all next time when, don't worry, the next time is gonna be absolute peak winner, and I mean that unironically. So, see you next time for that. Sorry to end this so soon, but yeah. Also, the next stream, I don't know if I'll change the time because of daylight saving in the US, we'll see. But anyway, see you all